I thought its effort in Sydney at the end of 1100 metres was strong. John Sargent is a trainer that...
$4.80 each of two for Lightsaber and Cooled. And look, outside of that, I can't really push into anything else either. Like Paul Ely's at $5.50, no real knock from a marker perspective. Hitotsu at 12 for that horse with the blip.
And the field of 14 two-year-olds set for the sire's produce. Set and away they go. Allegron a touch slow with also Hitotsu, who's drifting back to the back half. Readily available, snicks back to last. Lightsaber led from Wolves a lot closer out deeper on the track. And Paul Lilly is also pushing forward from Cheer. Funding Allegron readily available. And at the tail is Daily Bugle. Lightsaber in front, approaching the 850 by a half to Wolves. They were followed by Paul Lilly, who drops in third. Right on their heels, getting a lovely run. 2 lengths to Micro and Cheerful Legend. A length and a half, Guardian Spirit Forgot You, and then came Cool. Well back in the field then is Safe and Pounding, Hitotsu, Allegro, Daily Bugle second last and readily available as last as they come around the turn. Lightsaber being rated in the lead at the 500 metres, led by a length around the corner from Wolves second, Micro behind them, Cheerful Legend out 3 wide, then Paul Learley, who's looking for an out, behind them Guardian Spirit, Pounding, Daily Bugle and Cool winding up. It's Lightsaber at the 250, hands and heels at a length and a half. Cheerful Legend, Micro can't get through. Then came on the outside, Safe. It's Lightsaber at the 100. Micro's about to get through, but still Lightsaber. Lightsaber had a kick, and Lightsaber won it well. From a close one, Safe or Micro, then Cheerful Legend. Behind those, readily available, and Hitotsu. And behind those, Paul Learley and Forgot You from Cooled and Pounding, Daily Bugle, Wolves, Allegron, and Guardian Spirits.
Makes his own luck. He's just a dead set winner. This colt by Zoostar was purchased at the Ready to Race sales for $100,000. Well, doesn't that look cheap now for Blue Blood Thoroughbreds and Peter Moody, Luke Nolan? So Moody...
Size produce. This horse, Lightsaber, has a wonderful cruising speed, has a big, wonderful action and can just get along and roll along and hard to catch.
Well, you're going to be hard to beat when you've got this sort of racing style, aren't you? And once again, this was a really well-rated ride out in front. Basically got his...
Stable riding as well. For this horse to do this in its first preparation, it's only 4th start yesterday. I think post-race, Peter Moody was considering options in Sydney, so maybe this horse, not a Golden Slipper horse, but maybe the size produce or the Champagne up in Sydney in coming months.
There was a good run as well. Keep an eye on ready available.
For John Sargent?
John Sargent, basically the chocolate or dark colours, right, second from the levers, left of screen. Held up. Best final 200 of the day. Terrific run.
Spirit Pounding, Daily Bugle and Cooled winding up. It's Lightsaber at the 250, hands and heels at a length and a half. Cheerful Legend, Micro can't get through. Then came on the outside, Safe. It's Lightsaber at the 100. Micro's about to get through, but still Lightsaber. Lightsaber had a kick, and Lightsaber won it well. From a close one, Safe or Micro, then Cheerful Legend.
What do we make of Safe and Micro in behind?
It's hard to know with lightly raced horses. Yeah, allowed to because of the race shape, was readily available with the fastest last 200 of the meeting. And also Hitotsu, who had to come across the heels and get to the outside. They were the 2 fast finishing horses in the race hutch.
We say all that. Oh, look, I've underestimated this winner 3 times.
You know, if you're looking for a horse to take out of the race, for me, it's the winner. I thought he was bomb-proof in front, relaxed beautifully, and just sprinted away late.
All right, we'll take...
Sprinters, the 148th running of the time-honoured Newmarket Handicap.
It's long been regarded as a Melbourne Cup for sprinters. Zutori, right up at the top of the weights, with the weights being elevated 2 kilos, has 57. You've got to be quality to win a race like this with 57 kilos. The interest will be right down.
Even luck she's going to require, and it's whether or not you want to take the price.
Her Group 1 win in the Coolmore Stud Stakes means she comes into this with a penalty against the other 3-year-old fillies, so she carries 2 kilos more than Swats that, and she hasn't been...
Price, I mean, with the... Jules will give us an update shortly, but she's easing in the market, which I'm not completely surprised about. She was very short.
Hutch in September run, and also Brooklyn Hustle. I think one of the best roughies in this race is Halvorsen at 100 to 1. I could see it running really well on him.
Lightning September run gets a tick. She's very awake in the yard today, but I'm with the 10 Brooklyn Hustle. I just think she's brightened up. He could be in this as well.
September run, the 3-year-old filly, $2.20 this morning, 9 a.m. Got out to $2.35. Well, now you can get $2.70 about the horse that ran second in the Lightning Stakes last start. Market's taking a bit of a set against her. I think you might even get better than $2.70 $5.70 as we get closer to the jump for her. Swats that around rock solid, that $7.50 mark. Where's the money? Well, this has been a really good go last 10 minutes for Imaging. $15 into $8. It continues to firm up for Imaging. Chris Waller, it's great.
Locked away. Set to go. Gates are back and they're racing. Serious Suspect jumped away well. September Run. A slight brush into Standout shortly after the start. Celebrity Queen began quickly with Serious Suspect over on the far side. Indian Pacific is also zooming over. Zootori's not far away. There's a group of 4 heading up towards the inside, led by Indian Pacific over Amish Boy, Zootori, Prophet's Thumb, and the rest of them are over on the outside, headed by Celebrity Queen from Imaging, Elite Street, Serious Suspect, Dallas and Bold Star behind those from Flit and Standout. September Runs about 4 off the lead, and then came Swats That and well back Brooklyn Hustle, Helvorsen, and Prague is last of that division on the outside. 500 to go up the middle of the track. Indian Pacific led Amish Boy, Zootori, Prophet's Thumb. They're going to merge. September Run still 4 off the lead, and Williams is getting busy. Elite Street and also Serious Suspect lead the charge out wide, and Swats That as well with Prague. Indian Pacific at the 250 led from Amish Boy, Zootori. Then came Swats That. Indian Pacific 100 to go. Zootori is digging in with the big weight. Zootori, the toppy, moves up, takes the lead, won the Newmarket. A big effort, beat Indian Pacific, Amish Boy and Prague. Then Prophet's Thumb and Serious Suspect, followed by Swats That, Flit and Brooklyn Hustle. September Run never wound up, followed by Imaging, Elite Street, Bold Star, Celebrity Queen, Dallas and Standout and Helvorsen.
He deserved that, Zootori. He is an outstanding sprinter down the straight at Flemington. They put the weights up. He gets given 57 kilos. You've got to be quality to be able to carry that sort of a weight. And straight away we think about horses like Redkirk Warrior with 57.5, Haylist with 58.5, the great one, Black Caviar with 58, Scenic Blast with 57. Add in Zootori to that list, and for Matty Ellen and Simon Zara, they win the feature race down the straight at Flemington. Zootori for Luke Curry. What a fantastic couple of weeks Luke Curry has had. He won the...
I know you liked him. Well done. You made a good case for him, and he's delivered today. Great win.
The 57's a little deceiving because the minimum's only 52, and he did have sort of 55, and he's a quality performer. He carried a big weight in the Oakley Plate. As we heard from Simon Zara prior to the race.
It's always a great race, and it was a full field scrambling down the straight at Flemington. We love to see that. But it was a terrific training performance by Matty Ellen and Simon Zara. 4th in the race last year with 55 kilos, just gets to 57 in a fairly compressed weight situation here, wasn't it? So I got the feeling from Simon before the race, they were really happy to have the horse fit and well to be there, and they felt as though at the weights it was a definite chance to win.
Yeah, well, with his record down the straight, and with the 57, and we pointed it out a few times, he seemed pretty well in. But this was the interesting part of the race as they split the bulk of the field go high, which we weren't sure was going to be the best spot, and the pace and, well, potentially the better part was back to the far side, of course, where we had a very gallant run from the Sand Groper and Indian Pacific, but Amish Boy and the winner, Zootori, all came down that part, and they were in front a long way. Well, they were clearly ahead of, I thought, the outside pack a fair way from home and maintained that advantage. It ranked second with daily sectionals. Let's take in the concluding stages with Matt Hill.
Indian Pacific at the 250 led from Amish Boy, Zootori. Then came Swats That. Indian Pacific 100 to go. Zootori is digging in with the big weight. Zootori, the toppy, moves up, takes the lead, won the Newmarket. A big effort, beat Indian Pacific, Amish Boy.
Well, that was the story, wasn't it, Mike? The fact that the first 3 home came from that inside, and then they joined up, and all of a sudden the jockeys on the outside have gone, hang on, we've let these guys get too far ahead.
Yeah, I think there was a key move from Luke Curry when he saw that the Western's 4th win over track and distance. So, and the 57 kilos, as you touched on, he was a kilo down on his Oakley Plate weight, and there was only a spread of 5 kilos from top weight to bottom weight. So it's always easy with the benefit of hindsight, but Zootori was absolutely well in yesterday's race, even though he was carrying the top weight.
And Indian Pacific only went 1.7 lengths faster than standard the first section, on standard the second. So he's been really well rated. So well done to young Brad Parnham. He's rated that horse really well. And
when you consider the tempo, it's not fast. It's a Newmarket 1,200 metres down the straight. They've essentially sat up, gone along at an even tempo at best. When you consider then that September Run, some of the other key contenders, Swats That, even Brooklyn Hustle, were then at the back of the pack that was behind Indian Pacific, not even going that hard in front. It just makes the job so difficult.
She was still disappointing, though. She did not... I don't know if it was because she was crowded, September run I'm talking of, or she was... She didn't seem to pack a punch yesterday, ultimately. I mean, there was a bit of an unlucky... I mean, Brooklyn Hustle ran into a dead end. That's probably the part of the script with her. I know, Mike, you'll be ready to launch on that. Out forward easily.
Doesn't make any ground on profit stump. That tells the story, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So Hustle's gone to the line untested as well, like it did in the opening.
2 in a row.
I'm probably in your camp now, Hutchie. I mean, her racing pattern means that she's often going to be unlucky, but she's got a heap of ability. Yeah. When she gets circumstances to suit and she's got an unimpeded run, she could win a big race.
Well, they're going to go to the William Reid with Brooklyn Hustle next. She's got a great... she loves the Valley.
I think it's her best track.
Yeah, it's her best track. So hope...
In history awaits the big field for the 2021 Group 1 Australian Cup.
It is really one of our great races, $1.5 million in prize money. Many would...
And it's been a ripping betting race thus far as well. 50 Stars holding its price at that $4.20 mark, and the way this market's moving, I don't think that $4.20 is going to last, which is a really positive sign for this horse on the 7-day backup, that the market wants to be with it. Great sign.
With a bit of value here with that Angel of Truth, and I think he's more than capable.
With value as well, but I'm with Humidor on top. I just thought his run first up at 1,400 metres was strong. He tends to really...
Parody on top for me, the 17. She just hasn't put a foot wrong all preparation, continues to front up.
In our last preview, it was $4.20. We're now $3.40 for 50 Stars and solid across the board. This is a really positive sign for this horse on the 7-day backup. Market suggesting he's going to go back-to-back in the Australia Cup. Parody, we spoke...
And away they go. Parody jumped well from barrier 1 with Miss Siska. Harlem's right up there with Chapata. Steel Prince is looking for a forward position. Angel of Truth going forward in the pink jacket as well with Homesman. San Huberto settles down behind those horses. Best of Days is on a limb, so forcing up. Then Nonconformist, 50 Stars Defibrillate from Platoon Shit. A couple Miami bound Humidor, and Warning is last at the 1,200 metres. So the leader is Steel Prince. Led the cup field by a length and a half to Best of Days, and Parody is third, getting a lovely trail. Fourth, Angel of Truth, and they were followed by Homesman, who's 3 wide around Harlem and Miss Siska. A length Nonconformist, Chapata, and then San Huberto, and 50 Stars on the rails. Then Platoon Defibrillate and Shared Ambition from Humidor. Miami bound, Warning is last past the 800 metres. So it's Steel Prince, a couple of cheap fractions midway. Led 3/4 of a length, Best of Days. It's about to quicken. Homesman around those with Angel of Truth. Parody, 5th offence from Nonconformist. Then came Chapata and Harlem behind that leading wall. Further back, Miss Siska bailed away to the outside, Defibrillate and Platoon, and then Shared Ambition. So Steel Prince collared here by Best of Days. Homesman the outside, Parody up on the fence, then Chapata, Defibrillate winding up, then Platoon. It's Best of Days and Parody from Homesman, and then Chapata at the clock tower. Best of Days just in front of Parody. Homesman still coming, then Defibrillate. Homesman moves up to Best of Days at the 100. Best of Days and Homesman. Best of Days and Homesman. Homesman with the music man cheering above, and also Best of Days a photo. Homesman and Best of Days a photo, maybe Homesman. Then came Chapata prominent for third. For fourth, a wall of them, Defibrillate, Angel of Truth and Parody, and then Steel Prince, San Huberto, 50 Stars, Miami bound, Defibrillate, Platoon, Nonconformist, Humidor, Warning, and Harlem.
Oh, it's a thrilling finish. It's a photo finish. And Homesman looks like he's put his nose out in front. I need to get up closer. Is it in the inside? Oh, it's impossible to tell. The heads are up and down. Is that Homesman in front? It is. Homesman will beat Best of Days ahead of Chapata and Parody. And there is an angel in the sky by the name of Michael Gudinski, who looks down with a smile on his face, with a finger in the air. He's been able to win a Group 1 in a whole week where the family have just been distraught, his family and friends, and Homesman's responded to the moment and deliver on the line to win. Homesman wins a Group 1 for Anthony and Sam Friedman. Best of Days runs second, beaten a millimetre. Chapata runs third and Parody runs fourth. Oh, they'll be a
effort. There's a lot of people that behind this horse, and that's worth mentioning, obviously. Michael Gudinski obviously passed away during the week. You know, he was very close to the family. You know, Dad had some very fond memories with him back in the 90s and early 2000s, so he certainly had some help out there.
Yeah, Michael.
With Lloyd during the week, and he had this idea to ride the horse out wide and ride him like a European horse, which is ultimately what he is. So Jai rode him perfectly, a bit of room to move, and one thing he's got is that tenacity and that will to win. Yeah, look, we knew he'd be probably a touch stronger than the second horse for that last little bit. He's proven at this distance. But yeah, on the line, I thought the other horse got the bob in, so it was...
It was dominated by those that were in the first half dozen, wasn't it? There was just a very leisurely tempo through the first 800 metres to 1,000, and because the field was condensed, it meant that horses, like non-conformists who was trapped 4 or 5 wide with no cover, makes it very difficult from out there. But I thought John McNeil's ride on Homesman was absolutely outstanding, understanding what the instructions from Lloyd to Jai were, to not lead, but to make sure that the horse is in a rhythm and make sure that horses are not on his outside. He executed those instructions absolutely perfectly. He was the first horse to go 3 and 4 wide, no cover from about the 1,200 metres to the finish line. So there were, they had plenty of chances to beat Homesman. Chapata had the perfect run, smothered up in behind him, but Homesman
done it again here, and it was a horse that was really well ridden on this occasion, and it looked tough on paper, and Homesman was pretty tough late. I've got to give a special mention as well, Matty, to Matt Hill with a call. I mean, to spit out what he did in the last 50 metres in a tight finish like that, that's pretty.
It was a Group 1 call, fitting of the moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, he exactly right. He managed to get Michael Gudinski into that last couple of metres when still concentrating on a race that was, got down to inches. Best of Days was actually was coming back on the line.
Was taking the
Haggard was a ride of Best of Days.
Best of Days, Homesman the outside, Parody up on the fence, then Chapata, Defibrillate winding up, then Platoon. It's Best of Days and Parody from Homesman, and then Chapata at the clock tower. Best of Days just in front of Parody. Homesman still coming, then Defibrillate. Homesman moves up to Best of Days at the 100. Best of Days and Homesman. Best of Days and Homesman. Homesman with the music man cheering above. And also
just classic Matty Hill gets it right. From a favourites point of view, 50 Stars, Grace, and the way Mike mentioned the way the race was run, 50 Stars back on the rail, getting pushed further back with that tempo, no chance whatsoever.
No chance, basically, unfortunately, for 50 Stars. Waiting for punters.
But no one's prepared to take the initiative mid-race either, so you can always blue it after the race is over, but those horses that are in the running line with no tempo on...
When they're just racing in a clump, you're like, just do something.
Do something. I thought Luke Nolan showed great initiative, having drawn barrier 17 on Best of Days, to go forward, sit outside the leader and make an early move. So, massive tick to Luke Nolan. But I thought some of the others were just caught napping, and those that were in the first half dozen fought out the finish. It
was always going to be difficult for 50 Stars to fall back defence. I mean, no matter what race shape you envisaged, he was always going to find it tough from there. So a little surprising that, I was a little surprised that they sort of kept coming for him, notwithstanding he had really good form. But, yeah, I concur with those thoughts. If you're stuck wide and come in and complain about things in terms of tempo, we'll do something about it. It's pretty simple. Miami Bound, what a run from her. She's second widest from the screen. The white colours held up there, still held up, 300. She actually produced the 11th best final 200 of the meeting off a reasonable speed as well. So, look, she's on track. We know how much better she's on a wet track, and apparently...
she'll probably head to Sydney, I would have thought.
Sydney?
Yep, she's going to the Tancred next, Group 1, 2,400 metres, and then onto the Sydney Cup. And if she gets a fast tempo on a wet track, she is going to be awfully competitive in those races.
Is Jerry Carroll's wives, Di, who passed away 3 years ago. It's combined Di with Nardo from the sires named Toronado. So plenty of emotion into Nardo's win under Ben Thompson. Just shy of 15 to win on the home tote UTAB. Well done to all concerned. We'll flash minors when we get them. Now we take to Flemington for race number 9, Tab Kewney Stakes. And best bet for Flemington is Personal here, Gator.
Yeah, is that. So look, she was good.
And the gates crash and they're racing at the mile. Beautiful line 2. Star Rells going back to the end with Miss Guggenheim, beginning well, Safe Passage, with also Shajiki and Island Joy and Yes Baby Yes, Chikafuerte in the purple jacket. And not far away, Personal behind them from Selfless as they Rell last at the 1,000. Safe Passage, the front runner, 3/4 of a length in front of Yes Baby Yes, and they're carving out the pace here. 4 lengths away, Island Joy, a length Personal, Chikafuerte, 2 lengths Shajiki, and then came Selfless, Vespertine, Perfect World, Miss Guggenheim, Star Rell last as the field string out. So with 650 metres to run, Safe Passage by a half, Yes Baby Yes, who continues to pressure. 2 lengths Personal getting closer from Island Joy, then Chikafuerte as they run for the money at the 500 metres. Next behind those, Shajiki, and then Selfless, Perfect World, Star Rell a long way back with Miss Guggenheim. Yes Baby Yes and Personal get up to the lead. Chikafuerte a length and a half away, and then Perfect World, Shajiki and Starrell runs on, but Personal takes the lead as they reach the 200 metres from Yes Baby Yes. Chicka for Word, grinding home, and here's Starrell. Starrell for Craig Williams moves up with Chicka for Word and Personal. 3 across the track. Have a look at this for a humdinger. They hit it. Starrell maybe. From Chicka for Word, Personal, terrific finish. 4 lengths Perfect World or Shajiki for 4th. And then came Yes Baby Yes, Vespertine, Island Joy, Selfless Safe Passage, Miss Guggenheim, and the judge will need the photo.
We'll need a photo. Starrell looks really prominent. She ran up to win the race. Personal said, I'm not going to give up. And Chicka for Word said, I'm in for the fight as well. But Starrell gets it. For Dan O'Brien, he gets a double today. Craig Williams, well, he's had mixed luck throughout the day, but he's able to nail a winner right at the end of the day. Starrell on the line, puts her nose out and wins comfortably in the end, relatively.
And placed in a Group 3. Hard to believe that she was a maiden, and she came from last here to win the Kewney Stakes.
Yeah,
but
good form lines all around her, though.
Yeah,
what a race to win.
How did she start double figures?
Yeah, you break your duck in a big one because they kept backing Personal, but gee, they went hard here. Of course, the Safe Passage, blinkers on, just took charge and went. I think almost 15 lengths faster than standard through up to the 800 metre mark. So they were humming. It and Yes Baby Yes, and it made it a real test of stamina. As a consequence, it rated the 3rd best race of the day, but Starrell stayed out of that battle, last at the moment in screen, and that was a key factor, I think, because...
Fantastic finish in this Group 2 contest.
Well, Grace, you and I were both on Personal. At that 500 metre mark, when Personal gets out in some clean air, I was thinking, how far?
Yeah. Then when you look at the sectional times, though, I mean, here, when she put a length on Chicka for Word, you thought, oh, she's just going to keep running. These horses have faded badly on the clock. When you look at Personal's last 200 metres, it's 12:36. It was the 67th best of the day. Sorry, 70th best of the day. It was a race that was run at a brutal tempo, one of the more brutal tempos that we've seen this autumn carnival so far. The other race would be the Autumn Stakes, where Poland won. Similar sort of a contest where you want to see these horses with a couple of weeks until their next start, because it'll take them a while to get over this sort of a gut-busting run. Personal was the one who was fading fast, but then she kicked back because she's so tough. She's such a tenacious mare. Chicka for Word was great. Starrell had the drop on them. She was the swooper. She was the one.
3's got to be vetted at Edenhope. The Toddman 3's got to be vetted at Edenhope. The Toddman Stakes is a ripper edition this year for the 2-year-old colts and geldings over the 1,200 metres. And on the tab fix, the favourite Profiteer, $2.30 into $2, back to $2.15, back to $2.10. Stay inside, $3.30 out to $3.50, back to $3.40. And Remark is 4th, and he's dominated in both his wins so far.
Yeah, that's it. We don't have to wait long for a highlight, do we? What a race this is.
Racing and Profiteer jump well, so to Remark next door, and Director's going forward, and Direct will take up the lead from the King going Profiteer up to join it. Remark gets a good spot 3rd, then Home Affairs, Alpine Edge, Stay Inside taken back to sit on the outside of Animo, but Profiteer over Racing in the lead and opens up a lead of 3 lengths now on Direct. Remark travels strongly in the 3rd on the outside of Home Affairs, 2 further back to Alpine Edge, Animo, and Stay Inside will have to come from last to beat them. Well, Profiteer racing keenly in the lead at the 600 metres, out by 2.5 to Direct. He's coming back to the field a bit now, Profiteer, then Home Affairs, Remark just easing 3 wide from Animo. Stay Inside onto the back of Remark, and wide out Alpine Edge trying to keep him in a pocket and achieve that. It's Profiteer at the 300 metres, Home Affairs the inside from Direct, Animo into the clear, then came Remark. Stay Inside's got nowhere to go. Profiteer in front, a half on Home Affairs. Animo starting to lengthen in the middle. It's Profiteer and Animo the outside. Profiteer, Animo went home best. Animo, first go in Sydney, knocked off Profiteer right on the line. Then Home Affairs and the luckless Stay Inside. Further back to Remark, Direct and Alpine Edge.
Animo has monstered his rivals in the Toddman Stakes, and now we get a new look Golden Slipper market. We get a new look Golden Slipper picture after today. A great placing in the Blue Diamond to outmuscle them yesterday. Duff, you were very keen on him. He was your best bet. and he gets up to beat Profiteer, who stays favourite in the slipper.
Yeah, I can understand. You can make cases for all these horses as being really legitimate, you know, golden slipper chances. I've been enamoured with him all the way through, Animo, and he, look, I must say, it was a brilliant ride. An absolute precision from Rachel, just balanced him, coached him through a gap, and just let him finish off. I still think he's got more to offer, actually, and with a fast run, you know, fast run golden slip. Profiteer, just too keen. He was very, very good, and the slipper door is not closed for him by any stretch of the imagination. Likewise, Home Affairs, who battled on very, very well. Looks more a 1400 metre type, but that's what you might need to win a slipper like this. Stay Inside, well, legitimate excuses. There's no doubt about he had excuses to stay inside and never really got balanced to finish off. So the slipper's wide, wide open.
I was talking to you off camera and saying...
And 34.5 home, you know, or the other way around, but I thought they were okay, you know. I just thought he was...
So from the Colts we go to the fillies, Yarraman Park, Reisling Stakes, 1200 Group 2.
Reisling Stakes, and the gates open, they're off and racing. Ruby Kisses left very quickly together with Chilla, and showing pretty good muster now is Glistening looking for the lead, followed by Joyous Legend, Sliders, and now Pretty Woman goes to fourth. Ruby Kisses eases back a bit on the outside of Gustard, followed by Vianello on the improve, getting past Testimonial. Then came Swift Witness, further back to Flying Witness, and getting back now is Chilla, and 3 lengths away to Trafacia. They race to the turn, and Glistening shows the way by a half length on Joyous Legend. Sliders in third position, inside Pretty Woman, and deeper out Ruby Kisses. Further back to Gustard, then Vianello, Testimonial, a length off to Swift Witness, then Flying Witness, the rails from Chilla, and Trafacia is still back last, turning for home, and Glistening in front by a half on Joyous Legend. Sliders locked up, Pretty Woman locked up, then came Ruby Kisses, Testimonial into the clear, starting to find the line well. Then came Gustard, Swift Witness, and Chill down the outside, but Glistening shows great acceleration. Swift Witness coming out of the pack with a big run late. Glistening in front of Swift Witness. Glistening, Swift Witness dive tight. Very close there, Glistening and the fast finishing Swift Witness. Trafacia charged home into third, followed by Sliders. Then came Testimonial from Flying Witness. Further back to Vianello, Joyous Legend. Then Ruby Kisses, Pretty Woman, not much luck from Chill, and Gustard was about the last to finish.
At the rate or not, Swift Witness over the top. Here's the lunge, Glistening in front. Too late? No. Maybe. Glistening inside, Swift Witness outside. Glistening wins. Freedman get 2. The Colts stay inside, the filly Glistening. Swift Witness misses out by a nose.
What a season the Freedman boys are having, and...
a few years ago. Michael Freedman coming up.
He's had a lot of injuries throughout his career, John, and given the opportunities by Freedman, and he's really just rated this filly beautifully in front, who took great improvement out of the lead-up Opal preview, and you know, she had a nice relaxing time up front, sprinted, and was very good. Obviously they didn't run anywhere near the time of the Colts. There's plenty to talk about here. I think the main talking point is this filly Trifacia. I think she could be something special when she learns what it's all about. That's twice she's sort of wanted to over-race back in the field, and then she's finished off in races there where she probably shouldn't have finished off in. I should have mentioned Swift Witness, who was excellent there. She just misses out on that slipper run now with not enough prize money. The Pretty Woman, how do we know what would have happened with her? She just never saw daylight at any stage of that race. So I am a huge fan of Trifacia there. I know you found her in the yard as well, but she's just not mentally there. She wants to do a few things wrong. Just the Stewart. Not that they don't every other.
9 out of the last 10 slipper winners have been seen on that day in either the Toddman or the Reisling, and not necessarily winning. I think the other one was Feeling Ready. He was beaten and went on to win a slipper. So what do you think? Oh, what a great race we've got coming up here. Race 5, Holland Race Colours Challenge Stakes Group 2, 1,000 metres. And the Tab are really leading the charge here. They're $1.90 now, Nature Strip, and they've led it all the way out to $1.90 from $1.45. They've always been just one step ahead of other bookmakers. $1.90 is the call with Tab, $1.80 on the NO.
But we know here Nature Strip is a terrific sprinting horse. He won the Lightning first up there. Not the type of horse you like to take $1.40 about, but who knows what price he's going to get to at the finish here. And he's getting too hot, though. Not a lot went right, and she still got the job done well, winning first up. She looks a real up-and-coming sprinter.
Yeah, much.
Gates are back, they're off. He's only jumped fairly, Nature Strip. Plenty of speed, the Odyssey hard-ridden. Eduardo going forward, Jungle Edge. Nature Strip's out wide. Then Splintex ridden up, followed by Written Beauty on the outside of Space Boy. And Bella Vella is the last one. Eduardo got to the front trying to slow them up. So Nature Strip rolls forward the outside. And Nature Strip takes the lead away from Eduardo. The Odyssey in the third, then Space Boy, Written Beauty on the inside of Jungle Edge, then Splintex. And Bella Vella is the last one. Well, he showed great muster there to take the lead. Nature Strip, he leads by a length and a half on Eduardo. 3 further back to Space Boy, Written Beauty, 6 off. She's trying a hard out. It's Nature Strip below the 200. A half, 3/4 on Eduardo. Nature Strip in front of Eduardo is in for it. Nature Strip still in front from Eduardo. Nature Strip, Eduardo lunged on the line. It's close. Oh, very close. I'm not sure. Eduardo made the final dive there at Nature Strip. A good gap back to Bella Vella third, followed by Splintex, Space Boy, Written Beauty, and a gap back to Jungle Edge and the Odyssey.
OK, whoever's won it has broken the track record. They've broken Redsell's track record, 55-2. But who's broken it? Is his nose down on the line, or is it Nature Strip? It's going to be Eduardo. On that, it's going to be Eduardo. And it is. It is. Eduardo, number 2, will go into the frame. What an incredibly tight finish. We're just waiting on fourth. What a challenge.
What a training performance by Joe Pride. He's a 7-year-old. It's his first full prep with him. He got eyeballed by, the Nature Strip there, and you think he might have softened him up, but he's got courage, this horse. Wet, dry, whatever you like. That was what about the time? They've taken half a second off a 1,000-metre course record, mind you. Goodness gracious me, that's unbelievable.
OK, Joe Pride, the winning trainer, just watching it again, still trying to get his head around this. Congratulations.
He just gets these tried horses and gets them going so well. I know he had him last prep, but he got him mid-prep, and he's spelled him, brought him back his way. He's relaxed beautifully at the trials. And boy, did he show some fight there. He's a courageous horse. I know he's a 7-year-old, and we'll probably learn more about him next time in what's going to be a great galaxy. Look, take nothing away from Nature Strip. He's run to his best there. This is Redsell's track record. Now, you don't take half a second off them. It's not as if they were breaking track records all day.
We were having a joke about it, saying yourself and Munsey, we were saying what time they would run.
We were having a little bet in our own in the corner
and
there.
And you were saying it was only sort of milliseconds you were taking off, not half a second.
That's right. So to break it by half a second was just unbelievable performance. She's a ripper mare, Bella Vella. She's done a great job. Written Beauty, the well-backed runner, maybe all a bit too soon at that level.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look,
2 weeks away.
This is a
race.
They
line up.
This is a race, isn't it? The 3-year-old Wild Ruler, with the Snowdens have done this. And there we go. Similar here with this TJ Smith. We've got a really good bunch of sprinters around at the moment, and even bunch.
When it came to pass,
fast.
First of our Group 1s. Runners are in the mounting yard for the Moston Copper Randwick Guineas over the famous mile.
I didn't think I was going to pick this horse, Harmony Rose, but I'm going to put her on top because she's taken so much improvement from the last time I saw her, which was on the Kensington track. And
look, he's a cool, laid-back character, Agon there. Look at him here. He's nothing flashy, but he's just a ripper racehorse, and hopefully he's still got that aura. Nice staying filly in the making. Best as the rest is Lion's Roar is one at long odds I could include.
Tim Cuddy racing now. Marcinet jumped well off the inside, so did Peltzer wide out. Prime Stars urged to go forward, and Marcinet settles in the third. Then came Here to Shock from King's Legacy, and Harmony Rose sent forward out wide, getting an advance of Wheelhouse. They're followed then by Mwunga, who takes a spot on the inside at North Pacific. Sit up on the outside. In fact, he goes up to eyeball Marcinet at the 1,000 metres. 2 lengths away to Here to Shock. He gets a great run together with the filly Harmony Rose. Further back to King's Legacy, Prime Star, and Wheelhouse caught deep. Further back to Mwunga, who's locked up on the inside at North Pacific. Then came Agon deeper out from Ryan's Law, Bucharest. And last of all is the Eleonora. Marcinet withstanding the pressure there at Peltzer, and Marcinet at the 600 gets a length in front now to Peltzer. Here to Shock third, followed by Harmony Rose. Then Wheelhouse deeper out. Agon starting to improve. King's Legacy coming off the fence from Prime Star as they straighten up now in the Guineas, and Marcinet leads the way by a length on Peltzer. Then Here to Shock, Wheelhouse coming into it now. Lion's Roar down the outside, getting past Agon. Further back to King's Legacy and Prime Star. Lion's Roar coming down the outside to join Harmony Rose. Wheelhouse between them, but Lion's Roar is roaring away with the Randwick Guineas, and Lion's Roar an upset victory. Mwunga's come from a mile back to grab second in front of the filly Harmony Rose. Then Wheelhouse from King's Legacy. Then came Agon, perhaps not happy on the firm track today, from the Eleonora. Then came Here to Shock from Bucharest, Prime Star, Peltzer, Marcinet, and North Pacific's been well beaten.
Lion's Roar. Breton Avdallah for John O'Shea. Breton wins another big Randwick Mile Group 1. He's won a flight, he's won an F, or she's got into third. John O'Shea claims his 29th career Group 1, and Breton Avdallah his 8th.
Yeah, no fleek.
Guineas.
Yeah, look, and, just parked beautifully, didn't he? He found Agon's back here, and that's where Abdullah must have started to get a little bit confident. I'm travelling, I've got the favourites back. They've gone hard enough up front, and he pounced. So he's always been work in progress. John's looked after him well. He really appreciated getting to a mile second up and was still sprinting his legs because, we know he got right through, to a good level last preparation in the Champion Stakes, just going down to Montefilia. So he sets himself up for a great be a great chance in the Rosehill Guineas. Now here's the talking point. Mwunga, how far should he have won by? Look at him here. There was never going to be a run here, so I understand that. Tommy has to stop. OK, they're not opening up there. Then he's going to go sideways. And then the problem was, I think when he did, he just dropped his rein there and he had to gather himself back up. And, boy, he jumped out of the ground there, lady. He should have won. I'm pretty confident about that. This is a good filly. The third filly is, I think she's raw, but she's looking could even be a Derby hope, but an Oaks chance for sure.
Yeah, put herself from that gate, Josh, a little bit too much, but I think, as you said, the talking point has to be Mwunga. He's the horse that's on everyone's lips. The way that he finished off that last sort of 50 metres, if he hadn't have dropped his way, would he have won?
Well, we can just say he should have won.
Yeah.
We can just safely say he should have won.
Horses to follow. I thought the Eleonora was pretty good through the line.
Yeah, King's Legacy didn't have a lot of luck at a vital stage there in the straight. What about Agon? We have to mark him disappointing.
Yeah, I'd say I thought he hadn't changed much in his appearance, but maybe he's a horse that appreciates a bit of cut in the ground. That might bring the best out in him, but be interesting to see.
Nation with Mwunga and also Mark Newnham with Harmony Rose.
I don't think I'll be able to. And to having that run under his belt to now, you can certainly see that he's in his absolute peak form. So I expect him to bounce back, and obviously.
Hawks.
Yeah, great return, winning with authority first up there. Like I was saying earlier, though, 53.5 to 59. Might be ready to go on with this prep.
Crusader, we go on now to Savatiano. Number 8, Hugh Bowman on board for James Cummings.
Well, look, she's a lot harder in the market than what she was this morning. This morning she was, $4.40 or so. And she's a $3.80 chance now. Maps well.
Ahead of the Group 1 Canterbury Stakes. Lizzie's Pick of the Yard is brought to you by Arrowfield.
Up now, I'm with Savatiano on top. I've been with her from the start of this campaign, and I said that this is the best I've seen her all the way through. So but going to the line.
60 out to 290 with the cup going from Eden Hope on to Sky Racing 2. And a beaten favourite first up in Victoria, Bivouac Gator, returns to Sydney.
And they're off and racing. Masked Crusader missed the start by a length or so. And Samadout and Dreamforce have jumped well together with Savatiano playing a forward role as Samadout looks for the lead and finds it. A couple off to Mezzi, a couple further back than to Madame Bruce from Dawn Passage. Bivouac 3 wide back in the field going forward. Masked Crusader on the fence and Victorian's been snagged back to last. Samadout's been off the scene for 18 months, but he shows the way by 2 lengths on Dreamforce. A length and a half to Savatiano, well positioned. Bivouac's doing plenty of work in the run, still going forward. On the outside of Mitzi, followed by Madame Bruges, Masked Crusader, Dawn Passage, and Victorian the last one. 600 out, Samadout tried to get a breather. Getting closer is Dreamforce and Savatiano, inching closer now, really keeping tabs with the 2 speedsters. 2 lengths clear from Mitzi, and further back to Bivouac is 3 or 4 lengths off them. Savatiano, runner-up last year, and the mare takes the lead. Savatiano race 2 lengths clear from Mitzi. Bivouac's only grinding. Then came Madame Rouge and Masked Crusader. Savatiano in front. Mitzi goes to second. Savatiano a half in front. A neck in front. Mitzi lunges. I think she just missed. It's a photo here. Savatiano and Mitzi with Masked Crusader charging into third. Just in front of Bivouac. Followed by Dreamforce, Madame Rouge, Samadout. Further back to Dawn Passage. And Victorian was last to finish.
All right, who has won this? It's Father, big price Group 1 winner. Savatiano in front. Missy's made a big lunge right on the line. Whose nose is going to come down? It looks as though it's going to be Savatiano. And it is. Savatiano. Sun beats Dad. 8-10. Masked Crusader, number 7, will run third. Bivouac 4th. Then Dreamforce, Madame Root. And we will come back and hear from James Cummings very soon. Numbers going up, 8-10-7-1, 1-14-41. More deserved Group 1 you wouldn't find after 6 cracks at the highest level. 5 Group 2 wins, a Group 3 and a listed. Finally cracks it, a set plan after winning the Expressway to go to the Canterbury Stakes.
Yeah, she did deserve it. Just set up beautifully after that Expressway win where that didn't take much out of her. She got the soft lead there. Did a bit more work yesterday, and she was just too good for him on the line. So, like I said, she deserved that Group 1. Mizzy was much, much better yesterday, third up. That's the old Mizzy, and she would have won in probably one more bound. Okay, I think he's back, this horse, Masked Crusader. He was slow out, and I think, obviously he met them at the 59 there after he won at 53.5 last time, so I think this could be a really good autumn for him. There's something big for him, I think. So I think if we can trust him a little bit more. Of the others, I think Bivouac, he just ran at the start and then he seemed too fresh. He wanted to bolt mid-race there.
Yeah, over-raced. He gave him a dig when he missed the start and he just got over-racing, and it was just to put a pen through him and go back to the drawing board, I think.
This one, he'll take a power of beating. If you like him, Bel Toro's got some hope. Perua.
A horse that I think is just the right type to win this sort of a race. Stepping up to 2,000 metres just suits him down to the ground. He's
Maltese for punters, and one of the best backed runners is Cherry Tortoni. Does it look too good to be true? Well, let's have a look at this market. So over 85% of turnover is with the favourite. And then you've got
the Alistair Clark for the 3-year-olds. They're set. Racing at the top of the straights, Bel Toro slow away. Cherry Tortoni goes back to third last with Young Verda, but no real surprises there. Grand Slam's up there with the action and led it early from on the outside, Comanche Brave, and as a result they sped away, and Peru is going to drop in third, one off the fence. Tony and Bel Toro is last off the back section. Top corner, 800 metres to run. Grand Slam with some even splits here by a length. Comanche Brave, Prince Romany third, and 4 Perua. 2 lengths Young Verda bailed away. away underneath of Explosive Jack. Cherry Tortoni with 7 to make up, and Bel Toro last to the side of the course. 600 metres to run. Grand Slam by a half length. Comanche Brave, who's under heavy pressure as Grand Slam slid away. 2 lengths Comanche Brave. They were followed by Peru at a third from Explosive Jack. Cherry Tortoni around the outside, still with 5 to make up. Grand Slam up to the turn at the 350. It's Grand Slam the leader by 3 or 4. Perua. Cherry Tortoni trying to wind up wide. Comanche Brave boxes on from Young Verta. Grand Slam in front here at the 150. Still 4 or 5 lengths in front. They're not going to get anywhere near Grand Slam. Grand Slam 5 lengths in front, and what a win. Grand Slam did it easily. Won it by 5. Young Verta, Explosive Jack, Cherry Tortoni. Then Bel Toro. Further back in the field, Perua. Then came towards the end Comanche Brave and Prince Romany.
That's why we love her, because she just takes matters into her own hands. She makes split-second decisions, and that was a brilliant ride. There's the ride of the day. Jamie Carr gets off on her bike, and Grand Slam, well, controversial addition into the field in a Cox plate. He wins the Alistair Clark and does it in style, and it's a treble.
Group 2, Alistair Clark. The track was a good 3 at this stage of the day, and that's something that Jamie Carr, Mike, your girl, took advantage of here with Grand Slam, whose previous visit to the Valley, the 2040, was similar circumstances. Went forward, led, but came last in the Cox plate. Very different scenario yesterday. Fastest time in the 11 runnings of this race at the distance. Grand Slam was 3rd up here, as he was when 3rd in the Caulfield Guineas back in the spring, and will try and better sister Jamaica's 2nd in the 2016 ATC Derby and head north now.
They've always had a big opinion of this horse, and when they paid the late entry fee for the Cox plate last year, we thought it was an ambitious throw at the stumps, but clearly, you know, Kieran and David have always thought this horse was going to measure up, and based on yesterday's win, which was dominant, albeit, you know, as the day panned out, the track conditions and the tempo of the race and the ride by Jamie gave it every possible chance. But you'd think that it could head north and be competitive in races like the ATC Derby and the Guineas.
Market underestimated the key gauge.
Its own essentially, but Cherry Tortoni, and at this stage, he sort of crabs around the bend at the Valley, but he's won a race here before. But just look how deep he tracks at this point in time. He was travelling, he was sitting last, but he did jump with the field, and he jumped to midfield. And I spoke to Patrick Payne after the race, and he said as soon as the barriers opened, he knew the fate, and he was hoping out to 2,000 metres that they'd be able to see Cherry Tortoni settle in a closer position out to this sort of trip.
There was no intent to have the horse any closer. It was, I thought.
Yep.
But he was dragged back to last and was still pulling. Like, he was really keen through the early stage. Too much work.
And he's in those lanes out there that it's just impossible to make ground.
Where's Young Verta at, guys?
We'll put up with whatever we get, but unfortunately the rain has dampened that a little bit, but we've just had a performance down.
It's been a wonderful celebration as we build up to the 2021 All-Star Mile. Only the 3rd year of the All-Star Mile. The first year we had and trackers will be now to the fore. He's just been in New Zealand today, and the wet trackers will be now to the fore. We think of Sir Dragonet, Star of the Seas for Chris Waller, who's had an incredible day in Sydney. Can he add the All-Star Mile? There's so many layers to this event that the money's coming big time in the last 24, 48 hours for Russian Camelot.
It's 370 each of 2. Russian Camelot joins Probabile as the equal favourite from the top. And it's been a big go because we know Russian Camelot, we opened up at $10. They snapped that into 7 yesterday, into $4.40, $4.50 at 9 a.m. this morning. And now he's into $3.70 equal favourite with Probabile. And she's rock solid in the market. And Camelot, this is today even with this rain. Mugger 2 also has been cracked. Look at this, $11 into $7.50, holding an 8. Sir Dragonet.
Track, huge tick.
He'll say, I've been here before and I've been here in these conditions, and it was a pretty good performance taking out a fantastic Cox plate. Look, I think he would have been right out of calculations had it been a firm track or a good track today, but I think he's right into calculations now in these ones. Yeah, well, run, and yeah, look, I think with the conditions, it's not an issue. We know he likes it. He's good on top of the ground too. They've targeted him for this race. He's right in the game.
And he certainly doesn't have any.
3rd in the Cox plate, ran 8th, top 10 in a Melbourne Cup. It is Russian Camelot.
He's all class, isn't he? Just his 4th preparation, 11th career start. Let's not forget that, Zed.
he's a class act.
And he's proven on wet ground. Interesting to see what Damien Oliver does. I think
Another class actor. Form this prep's been, you just can't fault it. The soft track, it's going to bring others into play. Probabile, I'm still with. We've got 50 stars just to run through quickly, which I'll just run through because they are Probabile, but I'm really upgrading Dragonet now. I think he's a much better chance than what he may have been earlier in the day. Of course, you've got to respect Russian Camelot as well.
Di Gaetano, just a little bit unfamiliar with the way that horses do come out of the tunnel here, but I'm with Russian Camelot. I thought the $8 earlier in the week was a spoil. We've had the deduction with the extremely hard to beat.
Russian Camelot on top for me. The 9. Look, there's no secret I love this horse, and I just think he is a real racehorse. He's just an athlete. He's come back.
But it's Probable that's rallied late. Punters are not letting her go. I tell you, her two wins in Victoria have been fantastic, so they've rallied for her back into $3.60, and now clear-cut favourite from Russian Camelot into $4, the best back late today with Sportsbet. Mugatu, he's rock solid at that $7.50.
One for me, probably.
All-Star Mile, number 3. They're ready to go, set to run. World's richest mile race. Big cheer from the crowd. They're racing at the Valley. And from the inside, Shout the Bar began really well. Rousted forward with the Harrovian Luna Fox, and not far away along the inside, Behemoth. There's Graceful Glamour also charging forward with our Deeper Still a Star. Behind those horses, Luna Fox, Probabile's trying to find a position deeper with Streets of Avalon. Then Mugatu, Russian Camelot, Star of the Seas, Mr. Quickie, 50 stars. Regalo Di Gaetano is at the tail of the field. Booting up on the inside, Behemoth at the 1,000 metres led from Graceful Glamour, who's posted 3 wide, working hard, and Shout the Bar keeps her out there. 2 further back in the field, Luna Fox the inside from Still a Star, 3 deep, the Harrovian in the centre. A length, Streets of Avalon, then Mugatu. Further back, one off the fence, Sir Dragonet from Probabile, 3 wide. A length and a half, Mr. Quickie, 2/3 down from Russian Camelot the fence. Then Star of the Seas, Regalo Di Gaetano second last, and 50 stars. They're tightly packed. Behemoth stacks them up at the school at the 600 metres from Shout the Bar. Then Still a Star and the Harrovian together. Streets of Avalon 5 deep. Mugatu is right behind those stalking them. Mr. Quickie tries to soul up. Then Luna Fox. Russian Camelot starting to dart through the field. And then Probabile, the Harrovian up to Behemoth. As they reach the 350, they run the corner. They were followed by Mugatu, held up. And here coming through Russian Camelot, and taking through along the inside is Luna Fox. Mugatu coming at Russian Camelot. Then Behemoth, Russian Camelot, and Mugatu. Stride for stride. Mugatu fights. Mugatu for New South Wales. 1 All-Star Mile 3 by a half. Second Russian Camelot, a gap to Luna Fox or Behemoth. It was a terrific race. Then the Harrovian, Star of the Seas, Stars of Avalon, or Streets of Avalon, and they were followed by 50 stars. Behind them, Sir Dragonet in company with Still a Star, Probabile, and behind those, Mr. Quickie, Shout the Bar, and Regalo Di Gaetano.
Absolutely brilliant race with the 2 champion jockeys. Their tactics were fascinating. At one part of the race, 1,000 metres out, they were 3 and 4 pairs back on the rail. Damien Oliver was behind Hugh Bowman. Ollie got moving on Russian Camelot. He noticed when he got to the corner that Mugatu was trucking with Huey Bowman, and he tried to keep him in a pocket, and eventually Huey got the gap when Harrovian just started to wilter, and in through the gap he went. Damien Oliver versus Huey Bowman. It was a masterclass from the 2 superstar jockeys, and Huey punches the air and says, how good was that? She's apples all right.
On the first and second, they're Hall of Famers. Hugh Bowman, D. Oliver, take a bow. How exciting was that race, BZ? We had a roar from the crowd.
I can't remember the last time I heard a roar like that.
No.
Even on Cox Plate Day, you're expecting a big roar. There's, only a capped capacity of 9,000 people here. It felt like it was the hooter going on the AFL Grand Final.
I agree.
The crowd erupted when Hugh Bowman went through the gap. Russian Camelot was there. What an exciting race that was. And both these horses, big smile on the face from Hugh Bowman, and so he should be. That was a very, very, very gutsy performance. Weaving through the eye of a needle, just had to wait for the gap to open. Look at the conditions that these jockeys are in. Officially, this track is a soft 6, but they've run 1:39.82. Chris Lees now...
Cream rises to the top, and you've got horses that are specifically targeting the All-Star Mollem. It was clearly a target yesterday for Mugatoo. He's probably a 10-furlong horse, but fresh up, he goes particularly well. His second-up record is elite. He was terrific first up in Sydney, and this has obviously been a long-range target for Mugatoo, as it has been for Russian Camelot. So horses that were set for the race finished 1-2.
Daily secular race yesterday, the third All-Star Mile worth $5 million. First time we've had it at the Valley. And Mugatoo has won 7 of 12 in 14 months since being imported by Australian Bloodstock. It was Hugh Bowman's second ride yesterday on Mugatoo. He rode it to win the Winter Challenge last year as well, and had won the Canberra Newcastle Cups last year on soft tracks, but was probably thinking 12 months ago that you would have seen this horse go from winning a Canberra Cup to an All-Star Mile would have been stretching it.
Yeah, he's done well, but look at the first 4 past the post. Behemoth on the rail, Luna Fox on the rail, Mugatoo close enough to the inside, 3 back, and then you've got Ollie just following Hugh Bowman there on Russian Camelot, 4 back on the fence. And
he did a fantastic job to get to the fence on Mugatoo. He's drawn barrier 8, who's following him here. So it worked out perfectly for Mugatoo, and at this point there's probably no horse travelling better in the run than Mugatoo. Like, as the pressure comes on, horses start to backpedal, and you've got Mugatoo just absolutely bolting on the turn. Just needed that gap to come.
Let's take Matt Hill's call of the All-Star Mile.
The field, and then Probabile, the Harrovian up to Behemoth. As they reach the 350, they run the corner. They were followed by Mugatoo, held up, and here coming through Russian Camelot, and tanking through along the inside is Luna Fox. Mugatoo coming at Russian Camelot, then Behemoth, Russian Camelot, and Mugatoo, stride for stride. Mugatoo fights. Mugatoo for New South Wales, 1 All-Star Mile, 3 by a half. Second Russian Camelot.
As good as the race was, you almost feel like watching it with a black screen and just listening to the crowd again. I mean, having it roar through your ears once again just hits home the atmosphere that you guys got to experience and we saw on TV.
It's just spine-tingling, isn't it? Like just watching the replay, the hairs are standing up on the back of your neck.
It was incredible, and you know, 2 incredibly talented and successful jockeys fighting it out aboard those 2 horses, and the little cat and mouse sort of mid-race as they both were travelling and tracking into the turn, and the 3 looks over the shoulder from Ollie. I mean, it had a lot of excitement, and everyone, you know, could visualise it. It was something pretty special. I'll say this, Mike. After the race, Hugh Bowman seemed...
As we start to come past this turn here, you can already see there's some jockeys pretty heavy at work. We pause it again. Damien Oliver's on the move off the back of Mugatoo here, Somo, and this was really decisive and an incredible piece of riding that unfolds in the next 10 seconds.
So Hugh could have taken that run, but Damien's moved earlier, and then Hugh's
looking for the run up the fence.
He's looking for the run, and he needs the gap. If that gap doesn't come, you know, he could have finished 5th or 6th, because those horses were travelling inferior to Mugatoo, and he was just lucky that the Harrovian has just edged off a touch, and because he was travelling so well, when there's half a gap there, you
pause it here. There's that gap. So the Harrovian's rolled off outside Behemoth. The gap appears for Hugh Bowman, who I think everyone post-race, the word trucking was used time and time again, but it was the best possible description of how he was going.
Yeah, I mean, at the 600 metres, these 2 are travelling, but where they're going to go? Ollie sort of got a little advantage. You think, oh, he's going to dictate to Hugh, and he did. And, you know, a lot of the times he wins a race because that gap doesn't come for Hugh. And as we heard from Hugh post-race, sometimes the best options when you don't have any. But he didn't panic. He kept the horse balanced. He wanted to be there. The gap did come, and he did win. And Ollie and how he'd looked up to him and always, you know, respected him from a younger age. And there's that elation from Hugh. So, look, it was just one of those moments in sport. I mean, this is going to go down as one of the races of the year, no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. Because it had a little bit of everything. And I think I just wondered, sort of driving in here today, Grace, I mean... part of all that theatre was the conditions, like while we rued the rain and etc. It created
even Streets of Avalon, as we mentioned. So you know, it's just one of those races where no one's ruining anything; everybody is just celebrating.
It's a vision of Chris Lees and his team celebrating, and right there, you see what it means.
Yeah. You've got a feel for the connections of Arcadia Queen as well. I mean, she's withdrawn, you know, the day of the race. She was going to race in bar plates if she had...
But impressive, winning her first 2 starts there at Caulfield in early January and early February. And then obviously not herself from that inside barrier in the Blue Diamond. So whether we want to be forgiving there, they've found James McDonald for...
Colac today. Race number 2, Magic Night Stakes. And Gator, you like Arcaded on Sydney debut?
Yeah, look, her first 2 wins were pretty...
For the Tironi Magic Night. Ready? Racing, the favourite Arcaded hopped out of the gates very well and is going to lead comfortably. And there's a queue of half a dozen behind. Robo Deer out of the pack moves up underneath now and looking to take the lead. Centro Storico, Latino Blend Plonk behind, and Dulatil and Jamea's back last of all. So it's Robo Deer at the 700, a half length in front of Arcaded. Then came Dulatil being reined along. Latino Blend next on the inside of Centro Storico from Girlmania, and Jamea, the third pick in betting, is still sat back last into the straight. Robo Deer swings in front of Arcaded. Abdullah goes full bore on Robo Deer. McDonald sits quietly under Arcaded, and quickly Arcaded moved up to put the head in front. Down the outside, Jamea with a good finish, and Latino Blend coming off heels. It's Arcaded in front, a half on Robo Deer, who sticks back. Then came Jamea, but Arcaded starting to edge clear closing stages, and the favourite home, Arcaded, won it by a length and a half. Nearly a dead heat for second. Robo Deer of the fence, and Jamea wide out, and a head away fourth, Latino Blend. Further back to Dula, Centro Storico and Girlmania.
Arcaded, that's 3 Magic Nights in a row for James Cummings, Kiamichi, Thermosphere, and now Arcaded. Well, he won a slipper with Kiamichi.
Make with her. Look, she's just a beauty. Not sure if this is slipper form, but she's done a great job in her first preparation. Like, she bolted in those 2 races at Caulfield going into the Blue Diamond, and yesterday, well, she did tick off the 1200 metre box, which she didn't in the Blue Diamond. So she's obviously a real little professional. Second and third did a good job there. Jamea and Robadero, they're not slipper fillies, but they're very talented.
Dance coming up here, the Bauman Commercial Furniture Pago Stakes over 1200. Group 3 winner exempt from ballot in the Golden Slipper. This man
now. Well, there's a great line out. The Bull Ring, Tristated, Jump Well, Shakiro, Handy, Bruckner going forward, then Converge, Marzu. All the pace towards the inside. Further back to Maven, Spirit, Baronoff, Tiger Malay caught wide going forward. Ingratiating midfield on the 10 off the lead. So Tristate held out the Bull Ring for the lead. Converge in third position, just shading Shakiro. Bruckner fifth from Tiger Malay, then Marzu from Baronoff with your blessing. Further back to Maven, Spirit, Ingratiating in a tricky spot, head of state the outside. Further back to Mandalong, Cash Oren. Halal still back last, coming around the turn. Tristate shows the way from the Bull Ring. Shakiro hasn't got much room. Converge moves up with purpose. Now Tiger Malay gets cracking, getting past Marzu. It's Tristate being joined by Converge. Shakiro gets the run now between them. Then came Tiger Malay, ingratiating 5 off them. But Shakiro took the lead from Converge. Tiger Malay, Marzu late on the scene. It's Shakiro. Tiger Malay charges at him. But Shakiro just held on. Shakiro bounces back. 1.5 head to Tiger Malay and the fast finishing Marzu. Then came Converge from With Your Blessing, all with late headway from Tristate. Then ingratiating Halal from the Bull Ring, Baronoff.
Shakiro, the Magic Millions winner, bounces back. It hasn't all been perfect in the career of Shakiro. He's now won 3 races from 6 starts. He pays $9.30 for the win, and he's in the slipper if going through the Golden Slipper qualifiers as well. It's in there. It's going there. What did you think?
Well, it was a tradesman-like performance. They ran a little quicker time than the fillies overall. There's a pattern there to say that he can run a bad one, then go bang, bang, improve. Exactly what he did going into the Magic Millions. So, yep, he's an interesting horse. I think he's a Royal Dry tracker. So if we do get these showers this week, I think that's probably won't suit him. He's work in progress, Tiger Malay. He's still wandering a little bit. He's still learning. He's going to get better with every start. So I think his future's secure. I think there's 2 real improvers there. Mizzou, who's a very nice horse in the making, next preparation I'd say, and With Your Blessing is a very nice horse in the making as far as the way I'm looking at it. Now the 2 favourites here, considering circumstances and how dry this track was and how it was playing, I think they obviously forgive runs. They had far too much to do, ingratiating and Halal from a mile back here, and had to give too much start.
Just on the win.
If we put it up here, he is a very interesting colt. He's impossible to line him up, New Zealand 2-year-old form, but he blows them away. He made it 4 wins from 5 starts, and you know, he's 1-2 on the soft if he's got that box covered. So look at him put his, when asked to go, I like these horses that get down low and put the ears back and really savage the line, and he's done it left-handed, right-handed, dry tracks, soft tracks. Here's Matter, he start before, and he does the same thing. He gets that head down low, and when you ask him to go, he lengthens. He's by Spitzel. Not easy to bring a 2-year-old over within a week and have his first run in Australia, and I don't know about his times, but I did see David Gately, who's a bit of a sectional guru, last night tweet something about very positive about his times over there compared to the older horses, so, and other 2-year-old races. So if he comes, he'll, I think we'll be delving more into him because he's very interesting.
And to see him, if it's not in the slipper, we'll see him in the size. We'll see sort of state at some stage, but there is a booking for him to come over. Now, here's the market. They did react, of course, $51 into $15 for the Kiwi, but as far as those 2 winners yesterday, we're left with Profiteer and Stay Inside at the top of the market. Artorius is going to pay up, 3rd favourite, and then you've got Animo, and all of a sudden this Kiwi makes the first page. It is going to be a great slipper.
No doubt about it.
6, the Shondon Farlap Stakes over 1,500 metres, Group 2. Great race coming up, and our mounting yard brought to you by Harvey.
And they're off and racing. Impecunious was last out, and the Irishman jumped well, but Yaletown sent forward, and Poland bursting along the rails. They're followed then by Embolism racing to 4th in front of Bazooka, then Thermosphere. A gap of 2 lengths further back to Impecunious has taken a spot on the inside of Hungry Heart. Looking through on the fence, and Hungry Heart now is the last one. So Poland going along at a good pace at the 800, out by 3 lengths on Yaletown. Similar margin back to the Irishman, followed by Bazooka, Thermosphere, Embolism out deep from Impecunious, and Hungry Heart wedged between runners is still last of all. So it's Poland leading clearly, coming to the turn by length on Yaletown. The Irishman held together in 3rd. Bazooka pushed on from Thermosphere. Impecunious a ride for luck. Embolism deep out. Hungry Heart hasn't got much room to work with as they race to the 350. Poland being pressed by Yaletown. The Irishman got going quickly, and the Irishman races to the lead of the 200 from Yaletown. Hungry Heart's into the clear. She's running on. It's the Irishman in front of Hungry Heart. The Irishman a half a neck in front. Hungry Heart goes to him, and Hungry Heart went home best. Hungry Heart, a great performance, gets up to beat the Irishman, and Impecunious ran 3rd in front of Yaletown and Poland. Further back to Bazooka, then Thermosphere, and Embolism was last in.
Well, this remarkable record that Chris Waller has in the Farlap Stakes, starting with Winks back in 2015. He missed a year, but now that's another 5 in a row. Fox Play, Unforgotten, Very Elegant, Fun Star and Hungry Heart. And if they hadn't already won a Group 1, they went on to win a Group 1 out of the Farlap Stakes. It's a procession, the Farlap Stakes. It's a procession of winners, and they're all girls, all females. Hungry Heart.
Yeah, I jumped off the bandwagon of the Hungry Heart bandwagon before she got onto the dry track, which I was calling for. And I am contradicting myself here. I said it was nearly impossible to make ground after race 5, and here she comes from last and just launches on them late here. So she could well be back in business, although I think maybe...
The race played in her favour.
Look, they went out at warp speed here. When you break a class record 20 years old, 20 years old, that class record, you know they've gone out very, very hard. So, yeah, good win. May have been a little flattered with the way they went out. The Irishman's a promising horse. I think Impecunious is... I'd stick with her. She's still raw and learning what it's all about. And that other horse, Poland, he just went out.
We've got Harmony Rose, Monophilia, Hungry Heart. Looks great if that eventuates. Just on Chris Waller in that run. 100 metres here, the Highland Race Colours Ajax Stakes, Group 2. And this offers the winner a ticket into the Doncaster, exempt from ballot, exempt.
I think he's aggressed up, but I can forgive him for that. That can be him sometimes.
Terrific again there first up. Gets his chance to get into the Doncaster mile here, and this is a lovely big 1,500-metre race. It's different to the...
Thanks, Darren Flindell.
I'm ready now for the Ajax. Stand by for a start. Creaderis, Barrier 1 the favourite, and he's last out as usual, Creaderis, but not by a long margin. In fact, he's already improving, and Grey Worm shows the way. He's going to lead out by 2 lengths on Buffalo River. I Am Superman getting past Looks Like Elvis, followed by Think It Over. Then cast 2. 800 out, Grey Worm in front. By a length to Buffalo River, being restrained in second. 2.5 off to I Am Superman. Give It Every Hope by McAvoy. 2 further back to Looks Like Elvis and Think It Over from Mr. Seawolf. Creaderis continues to improve on the inside. Just looking for a bit of room now as they come around the turn, and Rock is next into the straight. It's Grey Worm and Buffalo River. 3 lengths clear from I Am Superman. Looks Like Elvis. Think It Over. Creaderis is scraping. Patey 6 off the lead. Buffalo River lays it down to Grey Worm, and I Am Superman closing in. 4 lengths away to Creaderis. Don't think he can win from there. It's Grey Worm, and in the centre Buffalo River, but I Am Superman lengthening now, and I Am Superman goes on to win the Ajax. Photo for the Miners, Think It Over and Rock, followed by Buffalo River. Then Looks Like Elvis. Creaderis didn't pick up inside runners. Further back to Mr. Seawolf, and a good gap back to Mr. Satchmo and Plumatic.
Well, he wins another Group 2 over 1,500 metres here at Rosehill. He won a Shannon, and now he wins an Ajax. I Am Superman, the horse that was brought over here by Michael O'Callaghan for a Golden Eagle.
He was great there, and he's a worthy starter in the Doncaster mile. Now, the thing is, he just has to have a dry track. So, Think It Over, he is flying.
Exempt from ballot, and they can't touch him with a penalty.
Yeah, good ride. He went forward, showed aggression, made the 2 speed horses go quicker than so he could slot in there, Kieran. And obviously, everyone knows that I Am Superman is a real dry tracker, and he performs at his best. So presented well, did a good job. He's flying this Think It Over. Now that's 2 big runs for him. He's just slipped the punter's radar twice now. Rock, a good return, and he's probably got more improvement than most out of that race. Buffalo River, another one of Mike Moroney's that just went out far too hard. He might just want a bit of sting out of the track as well. So what do you want to say about Pretty Boy here, Creaderis?
Well, my love affair is cooling off.
Cooling?
Yes, yes. But I mean, it could reignite again.
It could.
It could.
He's struggling to get into the Doncaster now, though.
Yeah, he is.
I suppose you got the Doncaster Prelude.
He's.
Does he want a little jar out of the track?
Yeah. Look, when I saw him, sort of, you knew he was never going to get there, and he looked as though he was probably not stretching out as well as he usually does on that track. It was getting firm by that time. Inside horse.
A big field lining up here for our Group 1 of the day, race number 7, the Coolmore Classic. 1,500 metres, fillies and mares, and this mounting yard brought to you by riding for Anthony Cummings.
Well, right back to her best with a big one, run a Group 1 weight for age last week. Just has to reproduce that. A beautiful draw, maps well. I just cannot...
The saddle for Richard and Michael Friedman.
Yeah, I know we've been questioning our 3-year-olds, but look, she showed an amazing turn of speed winning this around, and if she can reproduce that performance at 1,500, I understand she'd be right in the finish here.
Yeah, push from $12 into $9. Subpoenaed is $12 into $10. Crone $16 into $11, back out to $13, and money 23 to...
Chances in this race, it's really difficult to decipher because they're all primed for this performance to get this Group 1 on the board. I thought the second best...
For the Coolmore Classic of 2021, the light is on and we're all set. Gates are back, they're off and racing. Emeralds was the last out, and Vangelic jumped well together with Mizzy. Dame Giselle, Sovereign Award moving up out 4 wide. Reel 'em in, Ruby improves. In advance of Sweet Deal, then Forbidden Love, Crone from Subpoenaed. Tricky Gal caught a little bit deep, followed by Ice Bath getting up the inside of All Saints Eve. Madame Rouge out wide, followed by Rich Hips. Then came Emeralds from Shaylo, Aliferous, and Barbie's Fox is the last one. Sovereign Award goes quickly in the lead. Opens runs up a margin of 3 lengths on Danger Seller, and Vangelic lands third as Rachel King drops anchor on the front runner. Reel 'em in Ruby fourth, just in front of Mezzy. 2 lengths to Sweet Deal in the running line today on the outside of Crone. Then came Subpoenaed improving. Further back to Forbidden Love, Tricky Gal off the course, Ice Bath, The Rouse and Madame Rouge. A length further back to All Saints Eve from Emeralds, Rich Hips, Barbie's Fox, and the last two Aliferous and Shay Low as they spin around the corner now. And Sovereign Award in front from Danger Seller. In third position on the outside is Reel 'em in Ruby, Vangelic locked up, followed by Sweet Deal, Mezzy hitting the line well. Further back to Subpoenaed, Crone at Ice Bath in a bit of traffic. Mezzy takes the lead of the 200 from Danger Seller. Crone's getting a split. Mezzy in front of the 100. Crone goes up the inside and Crone takes the lead in the Coolmore. Crone draws clean out from Mezzy. It's a Queensland victory. Crone beat Mezzy. Danger Cell third, Vangelic next. Then All Saints Eve and Ice Bath. Further back to Emeralds from Reel 'em in Ruby, a left for a Shalo. Then Subpoenaed from Sweet Deal, Forbidden Love. Rich Hips, Barbie's Fox, Sovereign Award dropped out from Tricky Gal and Madame Rouge.
The Queenslander, Crone, Tony Gollan, his 4th career Group 1 victory. The very much form, wet or dry, it doesn't seem to matter with her right now.
Yeah, and she was lucky enough actually, to draw that barrier one, and Tim just put her in the perfect spot along the rail there, gets the split at the right time, and she was, look, she was just terrific. She's so underrated, and like the old saying, once these mares strike a bit of form and they can really hold it and run through brick walls, because there was some, really good lightweight chances in that race, and she carried the whole 57, the 58 top weight, so that was excellent. This, not very often you'd give the ride of the day on a beaten horse, but this was one of the great Group 1 rides of all time on the second filly here, Mizzy. She drew barrier 15. Regan Bayliss had a 3-back.
Because a lot of these will go to other races on the way, and it's worth $1 million, and it's a Group 1. Arcadia Queen, Colette, Funstar, Probabile, Very Elegant.
Of course, Pippi has to be in the...
Probably no horse quicker to muster speed in the country than Pippi. I think she finds the fence. You've got Indian Pacific, and I love that they show...
Libertini's in town, drawn the wide gate. It's not the place to be tonight. She had really good support leading into scratchings this morning, and, well, that support continues. So $370, $370 she got into. Back out to $440 and now $4.20. But we'll hold 11 into $650, $7 now. Masked Crusader, gate 2. He's going to get that charmed run 2 to 3 pairs back. He's going to need the luck, like we've seen tonight, 850 September run.
This track, Richo, but we're going to hope that class rises to the fore here with Libertini. I think fresh and...
From a yard point of view, she's at her absolute peak. She's improved with each outing. She's got...
Next, in terms of turnover, is Haydock, but there's a great spread of money through this Group 1, and so it should be too. It's a very open race. Libertini out.
All clear, and they're racing in the Group 1. Masked Crusader missed the start, and going back with it, Brooklyn Hustle and Kementari. Pepe shows explosive speed, goes to the front from Indian Pacific. Haydock lobs right behind them from Portland Sky and Libertini. Then came Elite Street and swats that from Masked Crusader. Well back is Flit, Brooklyn Hustle, Kementari. September runners last of all. At the 750, it's Pippi at her swan song by a neck, Indian Pacific. 2 further back is Haydock, the outside of Portland Sky, a length and a half. Libertini, 5th, 3 wide. Then Elite Street, Masked Crusader, a length. Swats that, Brooklyn Hustle, Flit, Kementari. September run is last. Pippi at the 500 metres led Indian Pacific. Haydock, a length and a half away, 3 wide from Portland Sky, Elite Street. Libertini, 4 to make up from Masked Crusader, Brooklyn Hustle. Then swats that behind them, Kementari. It's Pippi just in front on the point of the turn from Indian Pacific. Portland Sky is running up behind them. Then Masked Crusader, who hunts the fence. Pippi in the straight at the 150. Portland Sky, Masked Crusader's wedging through and bursting through. Masked Crusader drives through, takes the lead. A smart horse, a Group 1 winner. 2 lengths, Portland Sky, Libertini for 4th. September run, Flit, Kementari, all from the back. Then Brooklyn Hustle. Behind those horses then, pulling up quickly, Pippi, Elite Street, well back, Indian Pacific, and Haydock amongst the tail enders.
There's a win and there's a ride. William Pike, he's a beauty. He ties Luke Curry for 4 Group 1 wins in Victoria for the season. He goes to number 1 in Australia, and that is why he teams up with the Hawkes family in Rupert Lee's famous Chautauqua colours, and Masked Crusader, third pair back the rail, gets the split between Pippi and also Portland Sky, who runs second to back up his Oakley Plate performance, and a dynamite performance by Masked Crusader. Oh, he's the real deal, all right, no doubting that now. He brains them in the end, defeats Portland Sky, and Libertini, the son of Toronado, is a Group 1 winner.
What a win, what a ride, what a victory. Masked Crusader back. The worry was, where was he going to get to in the run? Willie Pike didn't worry about that. He has found a needle eye opening in the home straight between the tiring Pippi and Portland Sky. Portland Sky rolls in and the gap gets even tighter, but he drives him through. Masked Crusader was brave enough to take that gap, and he has raced away for a dominant win in the end. Portland Sky
to the mounting yard. Now equal favourite with Very Elegant. These are the two that everyone's been talking about. This time 12 months ago when they walked into the yard, we had no idea what we were in for, but the clash was set up. Very Elegant got the better of the day, but he fought back. And there are all the action.
And last year, there was no one here, and it was one of the great races of all time. She got a chance, Very Elegant, but Adabe was strong at his first run, and then he won by a more convincing margin in the QE2 Cup. So I've got to go with Adabe over Very Elegant.
One day's off. He was outstanding winning this race last year. World-class middle-distance horse who'll relish the soft here, pushes forward, and hard to beat. All we need is that tick of approval from the yard.
Yeah.
A bit of a moment for him to see if he can bounce back. He's an excitable type.
He is an excitable.
Under up, haven't they? Really good. A little month freshen after a couple of runs back, winning second up, 2,000 metres third up, soft track, and she's ready for battle.
She is improved as far as...
Actually back to 2:30 as the favourite, and your top pick, Mr. Gately.
Yeah, well, they had a great two-horse war, didn't they, in this race last year? And what doesn't happen too often is Very Elegant comes off second best in a dogfight. So all credit to Adabe, of course.
Gates are back now, and they're off and racing. And Sir Dragonet and Very Elegant have both jumped well. So did Colette, and Adabe is slicing through together with Angel of Truth. So there's a good go for the lead early, and Angel of Truth will get it. Colette just eases back from Master of Wine to Toya up the fence, and Cliffs of Moor's been taken back to last. So it's the duty of Angel of Truth to lead them up here in the Ranvet. And Adabe strides up on the outside, and Very Elegant's right on the coattails of the leader. So already the two big guns in the race are racing side by side as they head to the back. Master of Wine covering ground, and Cliffs of Moor is the last one. They're at the halfway mark, 1,000 metres to go. Angel of Truth a length in front from Adabe, who's got Very Elegant pinned away on the fence, although McDonald just eases back a length or so to give himself more options. Then came Sir Dragonet, further back to Colette, Natoya, Miami Bound, Master of Wine, and Cliffs of Moor is the last one. Angel of Truth in front. Marquin Blink now, he gets going on Adabe, and Very Elegant. McDonald's peeled to the outside, and here we go. Then Sir Dragonet from Colette, Miami Bound, coming to the turn. Angel of Truth just the leader from Adabe under the pump. Very Elegant a half length away, and two further back to Colette. Boy, Angel of Truth's giving a cheeky sight, but now Adabe and Very Elegant, they're getting serious. Very Elegant, Adabe in their own race, laying it down to Angel of Truth, but Very Elegant, she put the head in front. What's Adabe got? He's coming back. The gloves are off. They go toe to toe, blow for blow. Very Elegant ahead on Adabe. He's trying, but she's going to beat him. Very Elegant wins the Ranvet. She reversed the result of last year, beat Adabe. Angel of Truth third, Sir Dragonet next. Then came Colette from Master of Wine, Natoya, Miami Bound, and Cliffs of Moor. She's done it.
What a rematch. What a rematch. It was like watching two heavyweights go into battle. And this time, Very Elegant comes out on top. 12 months ago, it was the reverse. She gets revenge. And doesn't McDonald love it? Adabe has run second.
Not an easy feat, but she's won a Caulfield Cup with international form, and she's brought it to Rosehill today.
8 Group 1s in her own right. Incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
What were you thinking in the run
to the Ranvet Stakes? 12 months ago they turned it on and they're at it again yesterday. This time the result was very elegant over Adabe in the Ranvet.
Yeah, incredible. I think Angel of Truth didn't help Adabe here because he's controlling. He quickened up before Adabe did and just took him out of that little bit of a comfort zone early. And saying that, Angel of Truth's run a ripping race there, but very elegant. What can you say? She's Australasia's best. She just proved it. And just Chris, the way he nurtures these good horses and their plan, the patterns and all that thing. But I'm convinced Adabe will come on from that. So that opens us up for a big Queen Elizabeth as we forecast earlier. So Dragonay was because they've run fast time and just a little bit too fit late there. But
and remember, she got past him last year.
She did.
She got past him.
And probably got past him like that. And look, he's having a real dig. And then Tommy just eases up saying, OK, I'm beaten, but we live to fight another day. But
Yep.
A great race from two terrific, world-class horses.
And she gets world recognition on the spot. Not that she needed...
very interesting. The world was watching that race yesterday.
8 Group 1 she's won now, an incredible 8. Here's... all right, let's hear from one of the part owners, a very elegant, Brace Sokolsky.
Well, now she's arguably the best horse in the world. If you look at Deeb and his ratings, was phenomenal. It's what everyone came here to see.
So we go out of the autumn with all things being well. What about later in the year and overseas?
Yeah, well, I've had my heart set on the Arc for 12 months, and there's no reason why we should change that. She's proven unequivocally she's world class. Mile and a half on, likely wet ground, taking on the world and representing Australia in arguably the greatest horse races on the face of the planet. That's going to be phenomenal.
The Arc. Maybe they should ring Singo. What do you think?
You want to put her on the world? I don't know. What's around at the moment? And, what's the world climate like now? These are the right... Maybe, I don't know. I'd love to see... Everyone would love to see her represent, but it's tough with the COVID situation around the world at the moment.
Yeah. Weeks. And you can throw in Mugatul.
You can.
And Colette and Sir Dragonay, they're going to be back. I don't know whether Annabelle...
Out of this world, we're expecting something special, and we certainly got it. We've still got 4 Group 1s to go. I think the filly could cause a bit of an upset here in the Guineas, Montefilia. She's certainly got the right credentials, a dual Group 1 winner, and I certainly think...
Well, a name on most people's lips here. He appeared... Well, he was a certainty. Beat last start at Randwick in the Guineas. He gives the impression he'll lead up 2,000 metres, and with even luck, these back markers things do have to fall into place. He beat him up in the Champion Stakes in the spring, so she's had the one run back. Quality filly, loves it soft. Look, just too short.
Zippiest of horses, but he's very strong under pressure. So moving up to middle distances now, he sort of gets his chance to prove how good he is.
And a new addition to this race, not in last week, is the Kiwi Milford. 21-26 into 21. Throws some interest into the race.
Yeah, a bit of new blood. And
last up performance.
Yeah, interesting race, 11-3-1-6. Some going with Skylab here. I think he's an underrated little horse. I think he'll stick well. He looks a nice little Derby type for me. I think he'll like the sting out of the ground. Just
the Sky Racing Rosehill Guineas in the field is underway, and Wheelhouse and Quay have jumped well together with the Eleonora. Milford there with the Cullinan. Boy, there's plenty having a bite for the lead. Wheelhouse eased back a little bit as Grand Slam goes on with that. Luna Fox is firing up out deep. The favourite Moonga settles in the second half of the field in front of Kobe Star. Skylab looking for a spot. Then came Montefilia from here to shock. Lions Roar off the rouse. Lions Roar right behind the filly, and Bucharest is the last one, but it's Grand Slam nicely clear down the back, still by 2 lengths on Quay. A couple after Luna Fox, getting up on the outside of Milford there at the 1,000. 2 after the Eleonora, followed then by the Cullinan from Skylab. Wheelhouse boxed up on the fence, followed by Hair to Shock. Moonga between runners. Further back to Montefilia. Getting up on the inside is Kobe Star. Now Lions Roar. Abdullah starting to think about his options. He might be on the back back of the favourite Moonga at this point. And last of all is Bucharest. All the main chances back in the field. Grand Slam at the 600 metres, a half to Quay Quay. 2 off to Milford, going to a clear third. Luna Fox has had enough, followed by the Eleonora, Skylab. Moonga getting pretty deep. Line draw going between runners. Montefilia still well back into the straight now, and Quay Quay lays it down to Grand Slam. 2 after the Eleonora. Wheelhouse is running on from Skylab. Moonga down the outside, and Line draw looking for a little gap. He hasn't got much room, and Moonga's building up the revs wide out, going with Skylab. Wheelhouse, Line draw late, and Montefilia. Moonga got to the front. Moonga from Skylab. Skylab sits Moonga just in front. It's Moonga's Guineas. Moonga just beat Skylab, and the filly Montefilia third, followed by Lion Draw and Wheelhouse. Further back to Quay Quay from the Eleonora. Then a Grand Slam from Milford, Luna Fox, the Cullinan, Bucharest, and Here to Shock.
Annabelle Neesham has trained her first Group 1 winner in her first year of training. Moonga, number 3, Tommy Berry, has provided Annabelle with her first big moment in this sport. What a Rosehill Guineas, what a clash of stayers. There she is, Annabelle.
He's always a horse that's sort of midfield, but I thought he might end up a pair further forward than he was, and I was worried he was spotting the leader way too far. But he knew what he was sitting on. That straight took a long time to watch, but
I went the other, and I knew Skylab would take me somewhere into the race. I just had to pop a bit earlier than I would have liked, because I had a horse outside of me that sort of wasn't going that well, but was going well enough to keep me there if he wanted. But look, he's just such a good colt, this bloke. He could go into a derby because
Lions Roar. Moonga got more publicity and was more talked about after the Randwick Guineas because of his flashing light run. So he went into this race a solid favourite, and he produces to win the Rosehill Guineas.
Yep, and he deserved that after the disappointment of the Guineas, that's for sure. And full credit to the connections. They, sometimes jockeys ride a bad race. Like probably Tommy did, didn't have any luck last start, and they want to replace them, so they get rewarded for their loyalty as well with a big win in a big race. So he's on his way now. Lovely horse. Where they head with him, I don't know. Is he a Doncaster horse or a Derby horse? I don't know what to think about him.
Turn up in a Queen Elizabeth as well.
Could he turn up in a Queen Elizabeth as well? Skylab is a Derby horse. I've got no doubt about that. He was the first horse under pressure here, and he did not throw it away whatsoever. So he lacks the turn of speed, obviously, of the class horses, but he's got Derby written all over him. She's on tack for all her targets, Montefilia. That's much better from her stepping up with a gap between runs. What are her... Because she was excellent running on strongly. Lions Roar just got held up that little bit in the straight, and he gets more than a pass mark there, and this Wheelhouse keeps running nice races, so he's underrated as well. But all honours with Moonga. He deserved that, and he earned it.
Real moment, I suppose.
Kieran was there as well. He was one of the first to congratulate you.
Yeah, he was. He gave me a big hug.
And it's $5 Moonga, but still up in the air whether he goes there. And then you've got the New Zealand Derby winner, Rocket Spade, who won yesterday, dropping back to a mile.
Yep, and he's coming over. I think Karen McAvoy might be riding him.
Skylab.
Let's go up to Darren Flindell. We're counting down to the Ryder.
I think Tommy Berry's a great chance of winning another Group 1 here on Fun Star. She maps extremely well here. Very Elegant has certainly held up the Chipping Norton form, and I think Fun Star and Avilius will get down into a good battle here with a slight preference for Fun Star.
So he's had a good grounding.
He has had a good grounding, and he's hitting this race at...
Up run. Rosehill form is outstanding. He's usually good second up, and probably not as good as thing as he looked last week on a real bog.
But 6 at the value for me on top.
Brassis was first run in 1903 as the Railway Stakes. Some champs have won it, including Winks, 4 times.
Yeah, it's had a few distance changes, but still an interesting race every year. Unfortunately, no Winks in this year's running, but a mouthwash.
Yes, the gates are back, and they've jumped out in a great line overall. Mizzy was one of the first into stride with Samadou Dawn Passage, and Dreamforce will sit right behind them. Gem Song's pretty handy. They're followed then by Dalasan from Star of the Seas, Fun Star, midfield from Junipal, Colding Court forward, 3 wide early as they go past the 1200, a length and a half, Think It Over. Then the Godolphin duo here, Cascadian on the outside of Avilius. So Avilius settles back last. Edalasan improving on the rails. Further back to Star of the Seas. Fun Star's got a fair way back off the inside gate. Further back to Think It Over. Colding's in a 3-wide spot for the entire trip. On the outside is Junipal, and the last two Avilius and Cascadian. 600 metres to run. Dawn Passage a half in front to Sam It Out. Then Dreamforce, Messi, Gemsong peeling 3 wide. Star of the Seas 4 out. Further back then to Fun Star is coming well off the fence. Colding deeper out and Think It Over. A good gap back to Avilius is about second last at the 300 metres. Dawn Passage is the leader. Beat off Sam It Out. Dreamforce gets the chance on the inside. Messi working into the clear, one pace, then Gemsong. Dreamforce has railed hard. Dreamforce races to the lead at the 100. There's a wall coming. Think It Over out of the pack. Dreamforce, Think It Over. Avilius charging at the end. Think It Over in the centre with Avilius. Oh, good go here. I think Think It Over. Think It Over went to Dreamforce and Avilius wide out. Followed then by Cascadian. Further back to Gemsong. Not beaten all that far from Sam It Out. Then came Dalasan, Fun Star, Star of the Seas, Colding, Dawn Passage, Messi and Junipal. Think It Over will win it.
He'll win it, and he's into the Doncaster. They were worried whether he'd get in or not. He's in, and in the meantime, he's picked up a massive prize money cheque.
What a tough horse. What an underrated horse.
I went away for age before in saying that was a lesser grade, you know, where, like I said, last time we met these guys, they beat him 7 lengths, but he's improved.
Ryder now, and a horse that is right in contention for the Doncaster, with a lightweight of 52 kilos, is Think It Over.
Yeah, and geez, it's unreal how much we've been disrespecting this horse with his record and his 3 runs back at the huge odds, and he just poked through, minding his own business along the inside there, and he was terrific again. So dropping 7 kilos into a Doncaster mile, now he's getting the respect because I think he's in second or third favourite now. Dreamforce was terrific, a much better run from him. He travelled beautifully. James McDonald put him in a perfect spot, presented him at the right time. If you want to nitpick, maybe Nash should have stayed behind those horses, you know, the winner and the second horse. He had their backs, and then he had to charge out here and has to, you know, nearly put Fun Star, you know, interfered with Fun Star on the way through, and you could say he might have won the race if he stayed on the inside there. Cascadian, well, he could run well on a Doncaster. Cascadian if he gets in it. Yep, all those horses on the inside saved the ground, darted through where, just look at, yeah, Avilius there, you know, he just has to get in that bumping duel. He could have been right behind that pack there. But, you know, that's, you're just looking at clutching at straws there. So a deserved winner, but a little bit unlucky, Avilius.
You talk about disrespect in Boss. Lightweight, second favourite, Think It Over. Mugger 2 is the favourite at $4.50, and that's where he is going next. Now to the...
It's been a while. I missed that smile, but you're not easily replaced.
We will Ruffy win the race in the last decade, and once again I think it's around the main players in the market here. I've gone slightly outside with 4 moves ahead. I love the fact that she's got the tactic.
And for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr.
Yeah, Sharp Cold. He was far from disgrace, suffering his first defeat last start. He's going to look the winner for a long way here. The last 50 metres could be the query. Just a warm to this horse. He's a strong colt. He comes out of that proven Blue Diamond form line. He looks a miler, so being fresh might be best.
Slipper as Wodonga goes to Sky Racing 2. And Mr. Gately in the big one. You're with Profiteer, the quality Victorian colt who's won 2 of 3.
How's that look? I had a bit of trouble splitting them. Profiteer, I think it's the best horse, so it's a great place to start.
Weight in gold.
I'm going to stick with Stay Inside. I thought that he presented well enough and certainly forward enough, and everything indicates to me that he's going to run a decent race. He's just, everything points to him that he's going to run very, very well.
Moves ahead, the obvious of Stay Inside, the obvious of Profiteer. They're classy horses and certainly bear a lot of respect. Beware of, I think Mallory.
Racing now. Mallory was last out. Artorias taken back. Rocket Tiger and Profiteer were the first two out, and Profiteer has the lead. Home Affairs away well and glistening up to second now from Rocket Tiger, and Home Affairs will park behind. 4 moves ahead, moving up on the outside of Stay Inside. Swift Witness took a hold. Rocket Tiger couldn't get across. Moving up the inside is Kalashnikov, followed by Ingratiating. Then came Mallory from Shakiro, Queen of Wizardry. Well back Captive On from Adamo, and Artorias, the last one, a dozen lengths off the lead. It's Profiteer running in the lead, 2 at the 600 metres by 2 lengths. On Glistening, Home Affairs railing hard. Stay Inside moves up 3 wide. Then Kalashnikov from 4 moves ahead. Rocket Tiger as they straighten up. He sits pretty on Profiteer at the 350. Now Bowman starts to feel for him as Stay Inside is starting to cut him down, and Stay Inside moved up to Profiteer. They beat off Home Affairs, and then came 4 moves ahead, but Stay Inside is shot clear inside the 100 metres, and he's going to win it in a romp. Stay Inside 4 lengths clear from the fast finishing Animo, and Stay Inside, Tommy Berry wins his 3rd golden slipper. Animo 2nd, Photo 3rd, Ingratiating, and 4 moves ahead. Artorias late on the scene. Then came Captive On from Home Affairs, Mallory. Profiteer couldn't see it out. Then Queen of Wizardry from Glistening, Rocket Tiger, Shakiro, and Kalashnikov.
Well, the Freedman name is famous in the Golden Slipper. Lee and his brothers won 4 in a row. And now Richard and Michael in their own right have done it. They've done it. And Tommy Berry's done it for a 3rd time. He was the superior colt today and ridden confidently.
By the Freedman brothers, they just made themselves up. They're back at the top of the castle here. He was fantastic. Animo from last. He's got enormous there. It's very close for 3rd. I think his stablemate Ingratiating just nosed 4 moves ahead out there. But what a good colt he is. He's just got an old horse's head on him. But wow, Animo from that wide barrier getting back and charge.
The 4 brothers were involved for 4 in a row. But you, Michael, and
No, look, huge thrill. Michael's done a great job with the 2-year-olds, as he always does, and he picked the right day to work him the right way, and the horse looked beautiful here today. I thought he looked better today than he looked when he ran before. So, you know,
we could turn a foot. You know, like he's the real deal.
How much have you felt the build up to this? You and Tommy are very close.
Very close. You know, it goes back to the Singapore days when Nathan was stable rider for me up there and tragically passed away, and Tommy and I have had a pretty special...
...up. Particularly your horse, Animo. You were right about him. You were 100% right about how good he was. Look at him 2nd last. And Artorias is behind him.
Yeah, look... Animo, firstly, we all knew. We knew what we were dealing with, the outside barrier and a golden slipper. It's not easy, and, you know, it's easy to say, oh, you would have won with a barrier. Maybe, maybe not. The winner's bolted in, but look at him from here on him. You know, he just lengthens and just does it all on his own without no card into the race at all. And he is a very, very good colt. Has he had enough now? That's got to be the question. He's had a long prep. He's been through all that Melbourne Blue Diamond lead-ups and into the Blue Diamond, and then he's running the Toddman, and he's running the... You know, you'd say, oh, what a beautiful horse for the sires and the champagne. But has he got the constitution for that? We'll leave that to Godolphin. 3rd horse was great, Ingratiating, so they've stacked up that form again. And 4 moves ahead, just didn't get into the spot she wanted. And Nash had an ugly day, a couple of suspensions. That can happen riding light. And look at this horse back last here, Artorias. He doesn't know anything. If he can learn from this experience, he could just dominate the size and definitely the champagne, because he didn't know whether he was Arthur or Martha there yesterday. And sometimes horses can, with that experience, and it's all daunting. Look at him here on that first turn. Oh, I don't know where I am. I'm going to run off the track.
Goodness me.
And then in the blue, Animo and Ingratiating away in the Blue Diamond, and he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
And then he decides to start to concentrate.
How does he make up all this ground? We're well into the straight here. The slipper's over. Stay Inside's got it shot to bits.
Yep.
And there's Animo. He's out of the screen now.
Yep. And yeah, he was terrific. Profiteer, I think we have to judge him on a dry track. You know, the speed horses on wet tracks, there's always that
unknown factor. So
what are you going to do with him now?
We're going to have a catch-up in the next few days. My initial feeling would be to give him a spell. It's his only his second preparation.
Performance, we were just...
Sort of a
90s with Brother Lee. How much more special is this, Richard?
Oh, well, I guess twice as special because there's half as many involved. but it's it's pretty special. To rebuild is harder than building the first time because you're not the fresh.
You forged a career in...
I'm embracing the gypsy look, you know.
It's nice to see you save your best outfits for Sky anyway.
Well, exactly. You do notice that I'm not wearing a tie.
You might be able to afford a couple now.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's all right, but I won't be wearing them on Sky.
Oh, we can't afford you anymore. It's just you're way of our price range being a Golden Slipper winning trainer. And it's nice.
Along. It's been a great day, and guess what? We've got one Group 1 to go. The Bisley Workwear Galaxy 1100 metres is mounting out in a moment, but first to Darren.
Horbury on her's been trialling brilliantly. She had a great preparation gone past, and I've really got a feeling this is going to be her best coming up. Best prep here.
This weekend.
Third ahead of the 5, so it's 14, 1, 10 and 5. Here comes the Galaxy.
Weekend.
Third ahead of the 5, so it's 14, 1, 10 and 5. Here comes the Galaxy. The last of the Group 1s on Slipper Day, Mr. Gately. You like Horbury on her?
I do. Trials have been too.
The punters are right on the money as far as those two picks, but I'm happy to go with Jonker.
I'm with the market here. 4, 12, 1 and 13. I think she's very hard to beat here. When a Horbury on her, the price has gone from...
Gates are back. Great line out of the gates with the exception of Wild Ruler, and Dirty Work gets back. Eduardo, Easy Eddie have jumped well. Jonker's right there. Now deep out the Odyssey, followed by Jungle Edge pushing on. Then Tayer and Horbury on her, the two favourites together. Further back to Fiesta, then Splintex, Wild Ruler, Bella Vella, Order of Command, and Dirty Work has been snagged right back to last. Eduardo run the battle there for the lead, out by a length. Going to second is Fabergino. In front of Jonker and Jungle Edge out deep. Further back to Easy Eddie, then Tayer, Horbury on her deeper out. And further back to Fiesta, Wild Ruler trying to improve as they straighten up, and Eduardo is the leader by a length and a half. Jonker ran in a bit, followed by Easy Eddie. Fabergino's had enough. Horbury on her, 4 off the lead, starting to run on together with Tayer, but Eduardo's going great guns at the furlong. Eduardo 2-3 lengths in front from Jonker, then Horbury on her, late on the scene as Order of Command, but Eduardo's run them ragged in the Galaxy. What a performance! Eduardo brains them. Order of Command second. I think Dirty Work Nick third, and those in front of Jonker. Then Horbury on her and Wild Ruler. Further back to Easy Eddie, Tayer from Fiesta, Splintex, Jungle Edge, then Bella Vella, Fabergino, and the Odyssey was about the last to finish.
Eduardo, what a world-class sprinter he is. I don't know whether Joe will call him world's best, but he's world-class, there's no doubt about it. Number 1, carrying the top weight. To carry top weight in the Galaxy, you've got to be good. You're giving away so much weight to some of these very talented individuals. But look at the margin. Duff, pick it up from the helicopter shot.
Close there, but all honours with
this horse's first up from a spell, Tony Gollan. They do have jump outs up there, and I suspect that's been the case. It's been fairly firm in the market. Let's make it.
And Joe Pride produced Eduardo in impeccable style yesterday.
Well, it shows you how good this meeting was. We're an hour into this show and we haven't even shown this race yet. He is a jet. He is a jet. Now, Joe Pride is dead set the master of the tried horse. We've said this before, but this is his second prep for him. He's got him going. You know, for a horse that's had so much racing, well, I won't say so much racing, it's only his 19th start. But this horse is in the zone. You know, 2 huge sprinting performances we've seen from him. Track record time, he covers the wet track box, he's got that unbelievable racing style, and he is in great form. Order of Command,
nearly paid off there. Went into the first up run in Sydney underdone and peaked up there, dropping 5.5 kilos for Denny, and he did a terrific job. He's a nice horse. Jonker, flying for Tony Gollan, absolutely flying, and we know he's better on dry tracks where he can run time, and Dirty Work too far back. That's two starts back from a spell where he hasn't had a lot of luck. Dirty Work. He's a very good horse. Hotbury on her. First up, I'll be forgiving. I still expected more, but she's too good to dismiss. She'll come on from that and improve. And Wild Ruler, I'm convinced he wants it drier. But look at this win. Amazing, running very good time on a soft 7, hugging the rail. I know, the Rosehill 1100 is set up for these types of horses, but he is one happy horse.
His price was... All right, shaping up as always as a great race. Nature Strip, Eduardo Bivouac. Masked Crusader now a Group 1 winner. You got Libertini, you got September Run there, Hawkbury on her, Savatiana. That's the TJ. Now, I'm just looking at the fluctuations for the Everest. Classique Legion's been $6 favourite, and he trialled the other day, and
he's back.
He's back, isn't he?
He trialled awful before he...
Race 3 here at Rosehill Gardens. A big lead up for the Derby at the Championships. It's the Sign Ace Tulip Stakes over 2,000 metres going to the Doncaster. Is everything okay?
Yeah, all good. We just had to give him a freshen up. He just isn't quite mature enough at this stage to cope with, fortnightly
time, and I'm going to stick with him again today. Yale Town. I thought he paraded very similar to how he was last start, and it looks like a good race.
Ready for the Tulip Stakes, and they're off and racing. The front man jumped okay, so did Fields of Honour. Yale Town given a real dig up, looking for the lead. Then Prom Prodigy, and Favreau is looking to slot in and find a spot early. Does so in front of Young Werther. Then came Zach Speed from Rondino, and well back then Just a Jedi, and the favourite Cherry Tortonia dropped back to the tail of the field. Yale Town was busted up a bit out of the gates, and Yale Town a lead at the 900 metres to run now. Yale Town running along at a nice even tempo, out by a half length on Fields of Honour. Prom Prodigy third, Favreau given every hope at the 800. Then the front man on the inside of Young Werther, further back to Rondino on the outside of Zach Speed. Just a Jedi, Cherry Tortoni is trying to improve now, and just being felt for as they race to the 600 metres. Yale Town and neck in front to Fields of Honour. Prom Prodigy under the pump. Favreau being scrubbed up. Young Werther gets going. The front man's pushing off the fence, and further back to Cherry Tortoni is looking to get to the outside of runners, and doing so now, 3 or 4 off the lead. Yale Town leads at the 300 by a length and a half on Fields of Honour. Young Werther's winding up. The frontman battles on, and then came further back to Cherry Tortoni. Still got work to do. Yale Town is a length and a half clear from Young Werther, and then Prom Prodigy. Yale Town in front of Prom Prodigy, Young Werther, and Yale Town will lead all the way. Yale Town won it from Prom Prodigy and Young Werther. Then Favreau, followed by Zach Speed. Cherry Tortoni was grinding all the way up the straight. Just a Jedi next, followed by the frontman from Rondino, and Fields of Honour last home.
Yale Town leads all the way. Number 4. How many times are we going to say that? The way. Number 4. How many times are we going to say that today? Tim Clark gave
winner on the second horse at any old odds on the fence. I think it's Quicksand out wide, honestly. You don't want to be wrong.
To see him tick that off, as I said, everything we've seen from him at home and in his career today gave us the indication that he's would. Tim was able to give him a lovely ride. He just got into a nice rhythm, nice even tempo, which suited his.
Here's the Derby now. The filly is the equal favourite, Montefilia. Talked about her with the yoke. She's got to come through this first. She's going to the Derby, Skylab. Then you've got the Kiwi Rocket Spade, and then you've got horses that went around yesterday. Lions are all sitting at home waiting.
Yeah, well, I'm enamoured with Skylab, but she might just bolt this in, the filly. Just trying to line a few things up from yesterday.
Race number 6, the first of 2 Group 1s here at Rosehill today. The Vinery Stud Stakes, 2,000 metres.
The Group 1 Vinery Stud Stakes. They're out on the track warming up. Mr. Gately, you're...
Racing now. And Love Sensation jumped well with Harmony Rose, who's given a bit of a dig in the ribs out of the gates. Miraval settles in third as the favourite leads. Wider out Elizabeth and caught pretty deep in the early stages. Personal trying to get a better position. Princess Rainus improves along the fence. Then came Force of Will from Starrel, Hungry Heart, and Impecunious the last one. At the mile mark, and Harmony Rose in Impecunious on the inside of Hungry Heart. They've got 800 metres to run. It's been a genuine run. Vinery Stud Stakes. Harmony Rose in front by 3/4 of a length to Elizabeth. In third position, Personal inching closer. Miraval's under plenty of pressure. They're followed then by Princess Rainus from Love Sensation. Further back to Starrel, starting to improve, but getting tight for room. Further back to Impecunious, and Hungry Heart stands on a big start with Force of Will into the straight, and Harmony Rose is really starting to up the ante now, and at the 350 opens up 3 lengths on Elizabeth. Hungry Heart's coming out of the pack, the only one coming out of the pack. Harmony Rose 2 lengths clear. Hungry Heart goes to second, trying to get on terms with Harmony Rose, who's a length and a half to Hungry Heart. They're well clear from the rest. Hungry's coming. Harmony Rose and Hungry Heart. Hungry Heart goes to Harmony Rose and Hungry Heart. Big win. Hungry Heart's come from well back to beat the favourite Harmony Rose. Impecunious third, followed then by Princess Rainus. Then came Starrel from Force of Will, dropping out of it after the gun run was Personal from Elizabeth, Love Sensation, and Miraval was gone at an early stage, dropped out to finish last.
Number 3, Hungry Heart, ridden by Karen McAvoy, trained by Chris Waller, have taken out the Group 1 Vinery Stud Stakes. She had to run out a strong 2,000 metres to win that today because they went quick. And they went quick because Harmony Rose, the runner-up, went quick. And she deserved a win after doing all that work and running that quick.
Very, very valuable filly, Hungry Heart, being by Frankel, and now she's a Group 1 winning daughter of Frankel. Another one of this amazing story of how Chris Waller has turned the Farlap Stakes into his own. He's won it 6 times. All 6 fillies either had won a Group 1 going into it or won a Group 1 coming out of it. And she's the 6th one of this amazing group, which includes Winks.
Yeah, she's a good filly, and after tipping her 8 times in a row and jumping off when she finally found a dry track, that's not a good feeling, but a good effort. She did what no horse could do on the day, off what I must say was an absolute brutal speed. So that could have flattered it to a certain extent, but she still did it. I thought this was close. I know we could all say, oh, she had the fence, she had the lead. I thought this was close to the run of the day. Harmony Rose. It was enormous. Look at the horses that settled around her early. Personal got beat 9 lengths. Eliza Beale up on the speed, got beat 10. Love Sensation was with her, got beat 12 lengths. And Miraval, all those horses there, those 4 horses, how tough that race was for them.
Yeah, second horse was amazing, considering. I echo everything that Ronnie said, and she is the filly that I'll be taking out of it. Even though Hungry Heart deserved that Group 1 victory, she overcome the bias of the day, but the speed that the...
Group 1 wins. And Karen McAvoy goes to 78.
Incredible.
This Oaks... Montefilia has to come through the Derby first.
That's right.
Amaralina.
Group 1 racing continues. The Kia Tancred Stakes, 2,400 metres at weight for age.
Feet here. Well, quite strange, Greg. So Dragon A bang straight out to $5.50 from that 480. Melody Bell into 6. Angel of Truth stays 7. The Firm, the pick of the year.
Gates are open now, and they're off and racing in the Tancred. No speed at all by Nickajack Cave. She's Ideal taken back, and Miami Bound as well. Spirit Ridge was one of the first into stride from Toffee Tongue. Angel of Truth poking through the centre. Now deep out Sound, the chosen one's very deep. Over on the back of the speed, we've got Toffee Tongue handy, Sir Dragonet right behind from Mirage Dancer, then Shraro. Further back to Chapadam, She's Ideal. Southern France moves up 3 wide now, gets some cover at the 1,000. Back in the field is Miami Bound, Nickajack Cave. McDonald starts his run now, Melody Bell, and she starts to improve a few slots as they start the run down the side. And it's Spirit Ridge in front by length to Sound. Toffee Tongue third at the 800, followed by Angel of Truth. then Sir Dragonet, deeper out the Chosen One from Mirage Dancer, then Shraro from Southern France, Chapada, She's Ideal, Melody Bell, still well back with Miami Bound, and last of all is Nickajack Cave. The field really bunches approaching the home corner, and it's Spirit Ridge just the leader. Spirit Ridge turns in front of Toffee Tongue, Angel of Truth, then Sound. Sir Dragonet's out running on well, and further back to the Chosen One, Melody Bell's right down the outside, 6 off the lead. Sir Dragonet takes the front now at the 250 and race 2 lengths clear from Spirit Ridge, Toffee Tongue, Angel of Truth, Melody Bell too far back by the looks of it, but it well clear Sir Dragonet inside the 100 metres. A great backup from the big one last week, and Sir Dragonet wins the Tancred. She's Ideal got up to run second. Miami Bound home into third in front of Spirit Ridge, Toffee Tongue, then Southern France, Melody Bell, Angel of Truth. Further back to Chapada from Nickajack Cave. A gap back in the field to Sound from the Chosen One. Mirage Dancer dropped out, and so did Shraro.
Sir Dragonet. Sir Dragonet has won another Group 1 here in Australia. He adds the Tancred to his Cox Plate victory. And on board Glenn Boss for Kieran Maher and David Eustace.
And up today saying, well, OK, come on, I'm a Cox Plate winner. And he stood alone there and was far too good. She's Ideal. Firmed up there, the champion New Zealander Melody Bell just didn't finish it off at the 1.5 miles. But all honours, a one-act affair.
Well, that is the 17th.
He relaxed well on the yard. He was a little bit fresh last week and he was pretty right. So just like to thank the team up here. Yeah, exactly. You know, like the best part of his race last week was his last furlong, and you know, he needs those really solidly run races over 2,000 for him to get into it. You know, it's a bit like
been very elegant, and Bossy gets his 90th career Group 1 victory, and Kieran Maher his 17th, and 7 with David Eustace.
Yeah, look, we're a little bit worried about him in his couple of runs back from a spell, but he just had that beautiful trouble-free run from Barrier 1, which I think won a fair few races yesterday, and he was his class shone through there the last little bit, didn't he? He was terrific. What about this mare? She's Ideal. Well, she's come a long way in a short time without really winning to run second in a Tancred for a mare with her rating, which will really go through the roof now. And to think that she drops to 50 kilos from 57 at weight for age to 50 kilos in a Sydney Cup, we should take note, along with Miami Bound, who's got 51.5 in a Sydney Cup. And you know, if a bit of rain comes on the day there, she proved that last run was not her. Spirit Ridge was good as far as the Sydney Cup. Lightweight Sydney Cup hopes. There's some, you know, this is the race where you'd probably want to identify as your good Sydney Cup lead up, and I thought Southern France went okay there as well. But the weight horses are definitely the Spirit Ridge, the She's Ideals, the Miami Bounds. You see that Nickajack Cave didn't have a lot of room in the straight there as well. So how do you assess condition-wise? Is it a horse like Spirit Ridge who was only second up, who has more to come?
He does have more to come, but then that's sort of counteracted by the lightweight chances who are cherry ripe. She's Ideal ran excellent yesterday. Just tells me the race before she should have won with a leg in the air. She's a great chance going into a Sydney Cup, coming down in weight, and so is Miami Bound. But out of I think the horse that's got
champions. This is a very big hurdle he's got to jump next time. He's going to the Queen Elizabeth, and we've got a Dave and Very. Now they've joined together in the market. They're $3 each of 2, and that's how it should be.
What happens if Mugger 2 bolts the...
Come off that last run, like he never went...
Weight right on the Tancred on 1, 12, 14 and 13.
He never went to the line the other day like he did today. I know it's a 1.5 miles, but he just whacked away the other day like a tired horse, and I said to Kieran, he's not fit, this horse. So that's the one that brought him on, and I believe that was the fact.
You're not done. Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Race number 8 here at Rosehill. This is the ACY Securities Doncaster Prelude over 1,500 metres. Winner gets a free ticket into the Doncaster, exempt from ballot.
And they're racing. Rock was last out of the gates, and Yao Dash was one of the first out, showing good muster off the inside. Archidemus coming across from the wide alley. Then came Sosi Bond, followed by Buffalo River, who's holding a spot, keeping Dawn Passage a bit deeper out. Now Bottaga's going forward and looking for a spot spot between runners and getting it as well. That's a nice piece of riding. Yaldash holds them all out. Yaldash in front by link to Archidemus, 2 off to Buffalo River. Then came Sosi Bonner and Bottega holding a position 1 off the fence down the side. They're followed deeper out by Dawn Passage. A length and a half to Purple Sector from Mr. Seawolf at this point, and then came after a break to Cariff on the rails from Rock Just Thinking, deeper out from Subadar and Grey Lion. Yaldash leads coming to the turn from Archidemus. Buffalo River moves up 3 wide. Then Sosi Bond from Bottega. Dawn Passage, Hand of the Troop, wider out at the 350. Yaldash with a good kick, 2 lengths in front of Buffalo River. Dawn Passage running on. Bottega's got the gap, then Sosi Bond, but Yaldash still full of running. Going great guns, Yaldash. There's 3-4 lengths in front. Down the outside, Mr. Seawolf looking for second from Bottega, but Yaldash is going to lead all the way straight off to the Donny. That's been a huge winner. Mr. Seawolf second, Bottega third. Then came Rock from Archidemus, Sosi Bonner. Further back to Grey Lion, Subadar Never a Factor from Dawn Passage. Then Cara from Buffalo River, Hand of the Truth and Just Thinking.
Yaldash, number 13, goes into the Doncaster for the Queen of the Doncaster, Gay Waterhouse. We were mentioning before.
Dash went to the front and just kept running.
Beautiful. Barrier 1. He was up to 1,500 metres here. He was very heavily back considering circumstances, but I must say he delivered. He just raced away. 1 act affair, I would have thought. So I don't know if he could win a Doncaster mile, and he's a real dry tracker. That rub market reflects it. You know, he's 51 into 13 there, so he has some support. Mr. Seawolf, what a terrific horse he is. With that weight coming down the middle, he was terrific. Bottega is going to win one shortly. I don't know what it's going to be, but surely there's a race for him. And I thought Dawn Passage was forgivable. Wide, no cover, doing work. Rock wasn't fully tested there.
He wasn't fully wound up either. There was more.
Yeah, really.
There's
Archimedes. What do you say about Archimedes?
Agon will be there. I spoke to Andrew Forsman yesterday. Everything's okay with Agon. He's pressed